Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hookster Talks. I'm just adjusting the microphone so it doesn't look like it's in the way. Not that a lot of people would probably prefer it like that, wouldn't you? Hello everyone. Yeah, bastards. Let's put it out of the way so we can't actually, well, we can see it, but just a little bit. There you go. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hookster Talks with me and of course everyone's favourite bear. It's the TV bear. Woo, look at him go. He's so excited, aren't you? He's not excited. He's not, no. He's very, very sad today. Oh dear. Why are you sad, TB? Really? I had no idea. When did that happen? Today? Oh dear. Well, what can we say about that, everyone? What can we say about that? Well, we'll discuss the elephant in the room in a few minutes. But first, let's do a quick recap on last week's Grand Prix, and then we can segue into this week's Grand Prix. How about that? Yes. So, of course, last week it was the Grand Prix of France at Paul Richard. And, yeah, it was just as I predicted it would be. Pretty boring. Pretty boring, has to be said. Poor Charles Leclerc, of course, had that problem. He couldn't drive properly and ended up in the barrier. Yes, but what can you say? He put his hands up and admitted it and said, yep, that was all me. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going around afterwards going, oh, was that the throttle again? But no, it wasn't the throttle. It was just a mistake. A mistake by Charles Leclerc, and that was it. Unfortunately, though, he's now lost 75 points to Max Verstappen, and I'm beginning to feel now that the championship is certainly slipping away from Charles Leclerc as we're about to reach the summer break. I just don't think he can claw back that amount of points, and I think Maxi Boy is going to be world champion again, and this is going to be the start of the Max Red Bull dominance. And in about 3 or 4 years' time, everyone's going to be complaining about Max and he wins every single. Just like we all did with Sebastian Vettel. Oh, Sebastian Vettel. No, wait. With Sebastian Vettel and what we did with Lewis Hamilton as well. So I think that's what's going to happen. So yes, that was the Grand Prix of France. Pretty boring. Not much going on whatsoever, really. It was all right. I give it 6 out of 10. Maybe it only deserved 5.5 out of 10, to be honest. But I'll give it 6 purely for the Charles Leclerc incident. Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't a very good race. So there you go. So this weekend we have got the last race before the summer break, which is the Hungaroring, a circuit that I can't stand. No, I can't stand. I like they're getting all the boring races out of the way before the summer break. I like that. Yeah, I don't like Hungary. But yeah, so I predict it's going to be another boring race. And then Max is going to win it. And I think Charles, if he doesn't cock up again, will probably be there second, with probably Carlos Sainz in third, or maybe George Russell might sneak a third in there. Who knows? Lulu will be there, of course, somewhere, possibly fourth or fifth. Not quite sure at the moment, but that's my predictions for Hungary anyway. So there you go. That's the start of Hookster Talks. Now it's time to address the huge elephant in the room. When I got up today, I thought, I can't really think of anything to say on Hookster Talks this week. Nothing that, is going to be of any relevance. And so I just clicked on Twitter and fuck me Jesus. The story was just, it was just winking at me. Yes. So if no one's heard, maybe if you're an F1 fan or you've been out all day or whatever, or you've been hiding under a rock all day, I'm not quite sure. But if you haven't heard, Sebastian Vettel is retiring from F1 at the end of this season. Very sad news indeed, but if anyone's been religiously watching these Hookster Talks, I did predict this pretty much before the start of this season, that I thought that this was going to be Sebastian Vettel's last year in Formula 1. Now, the huge clue, which not many people got, was when he joined Instagram a couple of days ago, because if anyone remembers, in one of his interviews they asked him, I think it was during the whole Netflix Drive and Survive thing, whether he would Would he watch Netflix Drive and Survive? And he said no, because there's no point, because I'm in Formula One now, so why do I want to watch it? That would be something that I would do later on. And I also said about social media, and he said no. He says the only time I'll go onto social media is when I retire. So he gave all the clues out there ages ago. I think that was a couple of years ago when he said that. So as soon as he joined Instagram, that was the writing on the wall for Sebastian Vettel. And yes, he has retired from F1. All I can say now is that what we need to do to preserve his memory of Sebastian Vettel's F1 career is to totally erase his tenure at Aston Martin, to totally erase his tenure at Ferrari, and just basically have his Red Bull career as Sebastian Vettel, because that is when he was at his happiest. That was when he was winning the most, and I'm sure everyone would like to remember Seb at Red Bull a whole lot more than at Ferrari, and definitely a whole lot more than at Aston Martin, which quite frankly has been an absolute disaster. But that's not Seb's fault. That's because the Aston Martin team is pretty much an absolute bloody disaster. Yes. I think the writing on the wall for Seb was quite possibly a few weeks ago at Silverstone, when he was going round in that Williams car, Nigel Mansell's Williams car from 1992. And he was probably driving that car around the track and thinking to himself, you know what? These glory days of Formula One, they're never going to come back now. They're never going to come back. This time is now gone. And it's true. It's true. We're never... Before we had like resurgence of years, you know, there was good years in the 80s and there was good years in the 90s as well, and so on and so forth. But we've reached a point now where I believe the best has now gone. F1 is like your favourite TV show, which is currently just going into its 8th season. You still watch it because you're still a fan, but you know deep down that it's not going to be as good as it was before, and you also know that it's reaching the end of its life cycle as well. Now, unfortunately, who's to say what's going to happen in the future? The environmentalists may finally get their wish, and all of this motorsport could be banned in, I'd like to say 50 years, but the way things are going at the moment, the way the planet's warming up every year, it may be a lot less than that. And if that happens, Formula One, NASCAR, IndyCar, everything motorsport related could be gone, and gone for good. Because obviously it's not a contributing factor to unwarming the planet, is it? Let's face it. Cars racing around racetracks is, you know. And so it's very sad that I think to myself now that these could be the last years of motorsport that we're going to see. Hopefully we'll still be going for at least another 25 years. Hopefully, but who knows? Who knows? With everything that's going on with like fuel and whatever, they might not even be able to justify putting fuel in the cars in about 20 years' time, because, you know, the cost of the fuel might be so expensive they won't be able to do it. And the way things are going with electric and all that, I mean, could you imagine if Formula One had to go completely electric? I mean, I'd switch off immediately. I would never watch another F1 race if it was totally electric. Yeah, but that could be the way it's going to go, unfortunately. And the whole of motorsport could be gone in 25 years, which is very sad indeed. Because I know there's a lot of people, and most of them are watching me right now, motorsport fans, and to actually think that there's an end game. But unfortunately, at my grand old age, I have realised that nothing in this world lasts forever. Everything has a finite time, and when we reach that time, it's over and it's gone. So that could be the case with motorsport. I hope it isn't. I hope we've still got Formula One going around Spa, Frankie Champs, in another 100 years. That would make me very, very happy indeed. In fact, I'll be up there watching down in 100 years to see if that happens, because I'd like to. That would make me very, very happy if I can find enough time to fit in talking to Murray up there, because we've got a lot to talk about. We'd have a lot to talk about, I'll tell you. But yeah, that would make me very happy. But the way things are going, I just don't know. Anyway, back to Sebastian Vettel. So Sebastian Vettel has retired from Formula One, and in a way, I am glad. Oh look, I've even got a shirt on to match Aston. Well, not quite, but there you go. But in a way, I am glad. The thing that did it for me was last week's race, when they were both battling for one single point, Sebastian and Lance Stroll. And at one point, Sebastian Vettel came so close to going to the back of Lance Stroll. How he got away with it, I don't know. But it was just, I just thought, and maybe Seb thought this as well, what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing fighting for a point in a shit car? Because it is a shit car. It's a shit car. It's a shit team. Aston Martin, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You really should. Because the car it's rubbish. It's absolute dog shit. It really is. But there you go. Anyway, let's go to the comments and see what we got. Hello, Matthew D'Souza. He says, could be a blessing in disguise for Vettel retiring, looking at that crap Aston Martin car. Yeah, I agree with you there, Matt. Hello, Mr. TB Bear. Hope you've been a good dream daddy bear this week. Oh, yeah, he's been a good dream daddy bear. Haven't you, TB? He says, shut up. I'm sleeping now. He only comes on for the intro now and he should go back to sleep. Lazy little bastard. Hello, KTM Milner Gaming. He says, good evening. With how Red Bull and Ferrari have been recently, could we see Mercedes with the constructors? I don't know. Possibly. I mean, constructors wise, they're doing better than Ferrari are, aren't they? The last few races, because they're consistently scoring points. Both drivers are consistently scoring points, which can't be said for Ferrari one little bit, because you either got one up there or the other one isn't. So yeah. It's possible. It is possible. I would give it a 10 out of 10 for France. Absolutely. I presume that's sarcasm. Now, Red Bull have sealed both championships already. Yeah, I agree with you. Mr. Gomez is in the chat, everyone. Wowzers. Welcome to the stream. Disagree, Dave. I'm not waiting 3 to 4 years to complain about Max winning. I'm doing it now. LOL. Yes, I expect you are. And I expect there's a lot of people that are doing it now as well, because unfortunately, nobody likes domination in a sport. We like to see other people winning every single week. It's just unfortunate, but that's the nature of the beast. If you pump enough money into something like they do with Red Bull and Mercedes and Ferrari, then obviously at some point they're going to come out on top. It's just that's just the way it goes, isn't it? But yeah, we do like different drivers to win, and every time there's been a dominant driver, everyone has complained. I mean, look at the Michael Schumacher years. Oh my god, I don't think I've seen so much hate and anger than the years that Michael was driving. I mean, look at the 2002 season. I'm not quite sure which race it was. I think it was the USA 2002 when he let Barrichello go past at the line, and the booze was just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And that just goes to show you that, you know, people, they like variety. They don't like the same driver winning every single time. But as I say, with the way that you pump, if you pump enough money into something, you will come out on top. It's obvious, you know. It's like Elon Musk and his space rockets. He's pumping billions and billions of pounds, and they work. Well, of course they work, because he's putting so much money into them. He makes sure they work, doesn't he? You know, I mean, if I tried to build myself a rocket ship, I'd probably be able to start with 2 bits of cardboard and probably an elastic band. How well do you think that's going to go into space? Yeah? It'll probably go off about 2 foot and then come back down again, won't it? Yeah. But that's the scope of my adventures in space, you see. And so I'm not going to get very far. But Elon Musk, of course, he's going to be able to do it because he just keeps splashing the cash. More cash means you'll do it. If you've got cash, you can do anything. Yes, eventually. Hello, Mr. Plino Plessy. Welcome to the stream. He says, sad to hear Vettel's retirement. He has been a legend both on and off the track. Yes, I agree with you there. He has been. He's been more of a legend recently off the track because of all that he's been doing environmentally and sustainability. I just hope now that if he becomes a sort of climate ambassador, that he takes over from Greta Thunberg. Oh, I'm going to mention Greta again. Everyone knows I love Greta Thunberg. Yes. Hopefully he'll take over from her and kick her arrogant ass to the curb, because trust me, don't believe Greta Thunberg, because that is just total arrogance. That speech she gave where she's standing there at that podium going, how dare you, how dare you, that was just pure comedy. It really was. And entitlement. That's all it was. Pure unadulterated entitlement. Yes. Blaming us, that's me, because I'm of that age, for destroying the planet. As I've said many times in the past, the planet's been here for 64 billion years. 64 billion years. Okay, so you're saying in the last 200 years mankind has completely fucked up the planet. I don't think so somehow. No, we contributed. We've done our bit. Yeah, we've done our bit. But there's been lots of other factors that have fucked up the planet, and not just us. I mean, the dinosaurs back in the day farting. A dinosaur fart, that must have completely destroyed the ozone layer back in zero BC or whatever it was. Jesus, one dinosaur fart and that was it. I expect the whole planet exploded. So yeah, blaming mankind is it's ridiculous. It really is, because yeah, we've done our bit. We have contributed, and we've mucked up the planet a bit. I admit that, but it's not all our fault. Come on, Greta, it's not all our fault. Come on, just get over yourself, please. God's sake. It wasn't just us, and don't forget, as I've said before as well, the planet's not going anywhere. Okay, it's not suddenly going to spontaneously combust. It could get very, very hot indeed, and we might not be able to live on it anymore. Yeah, that could happen. But if that happens, that's only our fault, because we fucked it up, isn't it? So if we all die off, we've only got ourselves to blame. We really have. It's all our fault. But then something else will grow on the planet and take over. It won't be mankind. It'll be something else, some kind of little creature or something that can withstand 120 degrees temperatures. Yeah, a little weevil or something. Maybe that will become the dominant species of the planet. I don't know. But planet Earth will still be here in billions of years. I've said, what is it, 32 billion years the sun will explode or something? Something like that. So it's not long to wait now, is it? Yeah. 32 billion years, and then the sun will explode. Then the planet Earth will slowly die because there will be no sunlight. Although for the first 1,000 years, apparently the sunlight will be a lot more. And the Earth will be it'll be scorching hot. There won't be anyone on it then. But of course, by that time, I don't think many of us will care at that point, to be honest. I mean, for God's sake, 32 billion years in the future. We won't even be on Earth, will we? Let's face it. We'll have invented spaceships because Star Trek says so, so it must be the truth. We'll have invented spaceships, warp speed, and we'll be living somewhere else. If it gets too bad round here, we'll just go and colonise another planet, won't we? Somewhere else. That's what we'll do. So we won't have to worry about it in the future because we won't be on Earth anyway. But as for the Earth, I mean, some of these climate change, I'm actually not physically following them, but I do keep checking on them. There's a climate change on Twitter thing that I just, because I find it funny, and they said that the way things are going, the Earth is going to be uninhabitable in the next 15 years. Uninhabitable in the next 15 years. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. 15 years and it's going to be uninhabitable. No, of course it's not going to be uninhabitable in 15 years. It'll just be a little bit warmer. But as I've also said, we've had 2 ice ages through the whole career of planet Earth. We're going to get another one. Then it's going to get bloody cold. Bloody cold. Then what are we going to do? Well, we'll just complain even more, because that's what we do, don't we? Just complain about everything. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's sort of in between. Oh, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. There's one thing I've also said, okay? They're saying about all the emissions we're putting into the atmosphere, and, you know, it's destroying the ozone layer, and the climate's going to change and everything else. What happens if we stop all emissions, which is what we're supposed to be doing by 2030? That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. But even by 2050, if we suddenly stop all emissions by 2050, and then suddenly by about 2055, the Earth starts cooling down and getting too cold, what happens then? What happens then? Are we going to have to start producing emissions again to try and warm it up? Because that's how stupid it is. It really is. The planet has its own climate. The climate changes on the planet constantly. Constantly. Every 100 years, the climate of the planet changes. And that's what's happening now. We're going through a change. We had a heat wave, the worst heat wave of all last week. And before that, it was 1976. We had a really strong heat wave. They didn't talk about climate change in 1976. Climate change wasn't even a word in 1976. We were like, what? Climate change? Don't know what you're talking about, mate. While we're sitting there smoking our fags, and there was factories behind us chucking out tons and tons of dust from the coal power stations, coal producing power stations. It was just the smog everywhere. I remember that. I was in the 70s. The smog and the pollution was everywhere. But they never talked about climate change then. I have to say, I was trying to think of the first time I heard the word climate change. I never heard it during the 80s, never heard it during the 90s, never heard it through the noughties either. I think it's probably a word that's appeared possibly the last 10 years. That's probably the first time I heard even the word climate change. So before that, I was like the rest of everyone. I really didn't give a shit. What? Climate? Yeah, right, it's getting warmer. So what? But as I say, I don't want to go on this topic for too long, but as I say, if we fuck the planet up, then we fuck the planet up. There's nothing we can do about it. Yes, it's very important during this time to reduce things. I can understand that, and we should all, as a species, reduce our emissions and reduce other things that we do. Purely, though, to preserve the natural fossil fuels that we got left, like the gas and the oil. Because then we will keep going for another 25 years to 50 years after, where apparently it's all going to run out, which apparently is going to be about 2060. But now they're saying it could be 100 years. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, to preserve what we got left, because if we suddenly run out of fossil fuels, say we run out of fossil fuels overnight, there would be mass panic, because you think about everything that's joined with fossil fuels. You know, food is one thing. Okay, it all goes to supermarkets in trucks, in lorries. With no fossil fuels, that would collapse overnight, and there would be food shortages everywhere, and that would produce an I can't even say the word, apocalyptic event. It would be like nuclear war without the nuclear weapons, because there would be mass panic in the streets. There'd be rioting, looting, everything would go on. So, you know, we should actively preserve fossil fuels for as long as we can. And in the meantime, try and think of alternative energy sources, which we're trying to do now. We're not being that successful. We've got the wind turbines. We're trying to get energy from waves as well, which, yeah, in theory, it's okay. And they've even now invented a biofuel for aeroplanes, which could be 100% synthetic in about 20 years' time, which means they can make their own fuel. If they can make their own fuel for aeroplanes, they can make their own fuel for everything. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Cars, everything. So if we can actually make the fuel, instead of having to, drill it out of the ground, we wouldn't need fossil fuels anymore. And then everything would be okay. We wouldn't be producing any emission. Well, I don't know. I haven't gone into the science about how much emissions these biofuels make, but it may be clean emissions as they keep going about. So if it's clean emissions, then it's not going to be contributing to climate change, and then slowly the planet will start to repair it. I say start to repair itself, which sounds like a joke. I mean, what happened after that asteroid hit and wiped out all the dinosaurs? How long did it take for the planet? But it did. It obviously did repair itself, the planet, after the asteroid hit. It probably took 1,000 years before the climate went back to normal again. Maybe even took longer than that. In fact, if I remember reading back at school, that was what caused the first ice age, wasn't it? The actual asteroid hitting. But then slowly over time, the Earth warmed back up again, and the atmosphere cleared, because obviously it was the fact that all the dust had gone into the atmosphere, which was stopping the sunlight getting through, and that's what caused the ice age. That's how I interpret it anyway. But slowly the skies cleared, the sunlight came through, and plants, vegetation and everything else came back to life, and then species started to be born, and that's basically how mankind came about, wasn't it? Because we came from after the asteroid hit. So as I say, the planet is evolving. It's changing all the time, and our small 300-year contribution of pollution really hasn't made that much effect on the planet overall. But hopefully, if we can do all this, and we can heal the planet, that's fine. But as I say, I just hope that after we reach zero emissions, that after 5 years, the planet, this would be the best laugh. What happens if after 5 years the planet actually started warming up even more, even though we're not putting any emissions into the air? What would happen there? I mean, then what would they do? We're not going to know that. The scientists aren't going to know that until it actually happens and we actually do zero emissions. But I actually think that if we stop the emissions in the atmosphere after 5 years, I think the planet will still start warming up, because I think it's just through its natural warming up phase anyway. I don't think it's got anything to do with what we're allegedly putting into the atmosphere. But there you go. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But that's my theory. But yes, public information announcement. Make sure you try and preserve what you use. Try and keep it down. I've made a small contribution. I've got a timer as well. I have a 2-minute shower every day. 2 minutes and I'm done. Yeah, I got a little timer next to the shower. Bing! I hit the button and then bing! It's got a little timer and it rings off to tell me that's it. You're done. And as soon as that goes ping, I get out. So 2 minutes. I'm like I'm in the Navy. I mean, in fact, the Navy have 3-minute showers. Yeah, because that's all they're allowed. Because if you imagine if they're on a ship or something like that, the amount of people that are on that ship, there just isn't time for everyone on that ship to have like 15-minute showers. It'd just be ridiculous. Everyone would always be in the shower somewhere, wouldn't they? So yeah, in the Navy, they have what they call 3-minute showers, and that's it. You get 3 minutes, and then the shower water is cut off. Yes, so you can't have any more because that's your lot. And so yeah, I'm having Navy showers now, and that's my small contribution. And if everyone did that, we can keep good old planet Earth going for another 100, 200 years, even far beyond how long I'm going to still be here, which is fine. I don't mind doing my bit, even though I'm not going to be here when the real shit hits the fan. I don't mind. Yeah, I'll contribute. I don't care. But just all this uninhabitable planet in 15 years is just crazy. Well, unless of course something happens, like that bloke with the big part of land, but we can't go into that because I can't mention it on YouTube. But I mean, that could happen. But apart from that, if everything stays the same, yeah, the planet will still be going in 15 years. Don't worry, please don't worry. If one thing I want to stress is that if you're out there now stressing about a lot of these things, now I will admit, ever since COVID, I've been under a lot of stress because unfortunately it brought out an old condition that I had back when I was about 18 years old, which was anxiety. I won't go into details, but I had very severe anxiety from about the age of 18 till I was about 25, something like that. And unfortunately, I used to have a panic attack every single day. I had that for about 7 years, from about age 18 till about 25. I had a panic attack every day, and unfortunately, I was in a full-time job at the time, and it was very, very inconvenient because I was working on. It was a driving job basically. So having a panic attack while you're driving is not the best thing to have. And unfortunately, if anyone knows, a panic attack is completely uncontrollable. You can't control it, and you can't control when it happens either. And so I used to have the brown paper bag with me at all times, and I used to have to basically just stop what I was doing. Luckily, I wasn't out on the road. I was working in a dock on the forklifts, so I wasn't actually out on the road, so that was one good thing. But I basically had to pull my forklift off whatever I was doing, have the panic attack, and then about 10 minutes later I was all right, but a little bit dizzy and groggy, but then back on the forklift and back to work again, because that's what you had to do back in the 80s. There wasn't any of this slacking. And so so that was an anxiety disorder. Now when I reached about 25, I'd suddenly realised one day that I'd stopped. It's very weird because I'd stopped for about 2 weeks and didn't realise that I wasn't having one every day. It's just weird how your brain sort of manages to block things out. And like 2 weeks had gone past, and I suddenly went, hang on a minute, I haven't had a panic attack for the last 2 weeks. What the? And that was it. They stopped. They stopped completely. For about the last 20 years. Basically, I've not had a thing, but as soon as COVID happened, unfortunately, I had another few things happen as well, which was pretty bad news, which I really don't want to go into details about. It actually, after all this time, brought my anxiety disorder back, but I'm desperately trying to cope with it. I'm not saying I'm succeeding, but I am trying to cope with it. So, anyone out there who's got any problems like that, and I know there's a huge amount of people out there who are having problems like that, I just like to say that things will get better. I know it doesn't look like it now, but things will get better. It may take a little while, but things will definitely get better. I know every day you look at the news, it just looks like more doom and gloom, and basically it is more doom and gloom, but trust me, things will get better. And if you've got any sort of disorder like that, then I can sympathise. And all I can say is, if you need some help, don't be afraid to go and get some, because there's no stigma to it whatsoever. Mine was so bad when I was 18 years old that I actually had to go and see we used to call them psychiatrists back in the 80s, but they're called therapists now, or psychologists. I had to go and see one of those for quite a few visits when I was only 18 years old. And so, so there's no stigma to it whatsoever, because people's mental stages, a lot of people, ridicule you because of that, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all human beings at the end of the day, and different things affect people in different ways. So if you're struggling like that, then please don't be afraid to get any help. Get as much help as you need. Really, get as much help as you need, because it really did help me. Unfortunately, it was just a set of circumstances that brought it back, and there you go. Anyway, let's move on. Enough about my life story. Matthew says, Vettel in 2011 and 2013 was unbelievable. Best dominant 2 seasons I've seen in F1. 10 wins in 2011. 13 wins in 2013, including 9 wins in a row. Yep. That's a good thing to have, and that's the sort of things we should be remembering about Sebastian Vettel. Certainly not driving around in this Aston Martin. Oh my God. Yes. Will F1, welcome sir. He says, to be honest, Vettel has done really well at Aston Martin for the moment. He has done really well, but the car is just dog shit. It really is. But he has definitely got the best out of the car. I feel now though that Lance Stroll is possibly overtaking him a little bit, not due to talent, I have to say, just purely because Vettel could be now at that stage where he's ready to stop, you know, and so that extra little bit of effort is probably not there. So that's sad as well. Gomez says, the good old days, Dave, you sound like an old man. I am an old man. Yes. I sound like that cranky guy that always sits at the corner of the bar that people chuck peanuts at, you know? Every time they walk past and he always goes, hey, you're not funny. I go, shut up. Who lets him in every night? I don't know. It's cold outside, isn't it? That's me. That's definitely me. Oh, God. Hi, Scott. Yes, fine, thank you, mate. Very well. Just JMO. Hello, Mr. JMO. He says, I think there is a risk over reward factor there with Seb too. Why would he want to potentially hurt himself when he has a young family, etc.? Good luck to him. Absolute legend. Yes, I agree with you there. He certainly doesn't want to get to a stage where he could end up with an accident that could, debilitate him for the rest of his life, which is not something that anyone wants, unfortunately, but it does happen, especially in motorsport. So, yeah, I think he's definitely made the right decision to get out when he has. Because, unfortunately, the situation he is in with Aston Martin could develop, if he stayed there for another year, into his Ferrari sort of last year, where desperation starts creeping in. You could see it in Seb's last year. He was desperate to get somewhere and he made some really silly mistakes, and you don't want that to start happening in his career at Aston Martin. I mean, he's made a couple of mistakes, but he's done pretty well overall at Aston Martin, has to be said. But if he stayed on another year, I think Lance Stroll would have overtaken him in the team, and then the desperation would have started creeping in. He'd be like making desperate lunges, a bit like me really in ERL. Yeah, making dive bombs everywhere and just trying to get somewhere in the races, and then it wouldn't be good. So yeah, he's definitely got out at exactly the right time. It's once you start getting a family, your priorities, not that I know, but I'm just saying, your priorities change obviously, and you start to think about what is more important, racing around a racetrack or being with your family. Because don't forget, of course, with the races as well, it's like 23 races every year. He can never be at home, can he? At the moment, he can never be at home because he's going to be off to the next race. So he's got a young family. He's missing out on those early years as well. And so, yeah, good luck to him. Scott says, that's why I feel for Seb and Lance. Yeah. In the all seasons, when Hookster wins a title, he doesn't dominate apart from F1 2005. Yes, that's quite right. He doesn't. I've had a lot of complaints from people recently about my all seasons career, about how badly I'm doing. Well, all I can say is, shut up. Vettel at the end of season from 2009 to 2004 was unbelievable. Won 2 championships under pressure at the last race of the season. Yes, he was. Now, I've just finished watching the F1 2011 season, which was his second year of winning, and it was just total domination. It really was. There was no one to touch him. I mean, a few got close, a few races, but no, it was just total domination, it has to be said, from Sebastian Vettel, and that's how we should remember him. Vettel is a better driver than Hookster, who was awful in Hungary. Yeah, all right. Stop going on now. I'm getting old. Perhaps I should retire. I am, but only when I've finished the bloody all seasons, which could be about another 50 years at the rate I'm going. Because every time I try to catch up, they go and make another bloody game. Ridiculous. Vettel has more all seasons fans on the. All right. Shut. Oh God. Very true, Matt. Hookster needs to host a press conference to announce his retirement. I think Dave is repeating himself. Yeah, well, I do that. Now, listen to me, young man Will. Once you get to my age, you do repeat yourself a lot, okay? If you ever go and see your relatives, all right, at Christmas and birthdays, you tell me, okay, how many times in the same conversation your relatives will repeat themselves. I bet you it's at least 3 times, especially if they're very old. If you pick the old ones when they're in their 70s or 80s, I guarantee you they'll repeat the same conversation. My mum does exactly the same thing. She's 82, and within half an hour, she said the same conversation 3 times. I mean, for me, as a sort of half a comedian, the comedy value in it is just unbelievable. I'm literally sitting there, because I'm usually with my sister as well, and we're usually sitting there pissing ourselves laughing, sort of underneath our breaths, you know, because for me it's comedy gold. But yeah, 3 times usually in half an hour they repeat exactly the same conversation over again, and it's great. I mean, she's probably got a bit of dementia at 82. Who hasn't? But she hasn't sort of lost it completely. But that's how older people are, okay? They like to get their point across 3 times. It's funny. To me it is. I just crack up. I mean, I'm just, you know. Bernard Cribbins, who played Wilfred Mott in Doctor Who, has died as well today. Played one of my favourite Doctor Who characters in the David Tennant era. I'd just like to say a little word about Bernard Cribbins, because a lot of you youngsters won't know. He was in Doctor Who before. He was in one of the Doctor Who films, which was made in the 60s. There was Doctor Who and the Daleks, and Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, or as we like to call it, 10 to 10. 10 to 10. And Bernard Cribbins was in, I can't remember which one it was now. Let me think. Was it the first? No, it wasn't. The first one was Roy Castle, who, if anyone remembers, used to be a presenter. What did he used to play? He used to play an instrument. Can't remember what it was called now. But anyway, he was pretty famous in England, Roy Castle. Unfortunately, very sad, he died of lung cancer, and he never smoked a single cigarette in his life, but he died because of the instrument he played. I can't remember what it was called. It was the, you know, one you blow into anyway. He died because during his time, he was always in these smoky clubs or whatever where they were smoking constantly, and he was breathing in all their smoke when he was playing his instrument, and he died of lung cancer, and he never smoked a single cigarette. Very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. But there you go. That's really dying for your art. That is. It really is. That is ridiculous. But yeah. So Roy Castle, he was in the first one, and Bernard Cribbins was in the second one, Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD. And that movie over the first one was more sort of comedy, and Bernard Cribbins he had a really good comic touch, it has to be said. His timing was absolutely brilliant. And so, yeah, he was in that film. And that was quite possibly the first time I'd seen the Daleks, because I love the Daleks. All the Doctor Who's, I only ever watched the Dalek episodes. I didn't watch any others. Unfortunately, I haven't even watched the Dalek episodes of the modern ones, because I just can't stand a bloody woman being a doctor. It's not right. I'm sorry, womankind. I'm not having a go at you. Okay, so don't start getting all feminist on me. I'm not having a go at you. But Doctor Who is a man. Doctor Who should always be a man, and when you change it to a woman, I just couldn't be bothered anymore. No. It's the same as James Bond. James Bond should never be a woman. I'm sorry. Should never. That's just not on. No. It's James Bond. It should be a man. I've nothing against having very attractive women in James Bond films. In fact, that's possibly the only reason I watch them. Yes, I like that very much indeed. Keep them coming. But as for James Bond himself, has to be a man. But anyway, so Bernard Cribbins, yeah, he was in Doctor Who Daleks Invasion Earth 2150. It's a great film. If you can find it anywhere, go and watch it, because it's a great slice of 60s hokum. Yeah, that's how we used to do things in the 60s. It was brilliant. Not that I remember, because I was 69, but I was just in the 60s, just. But yeah, that was a great film. And yeah, very, very sad. He was such a brilliant actor. very underrated, and all you youngsters won't realise he used to do the voice for the Wombles. Yes, the Wombles. Now, if you don't, you probably won't even know what I'm talking about, but go and have a look on YouTube. The Wombles. They were basically the first climate activists. Yes, and this program was made back in the 70s. Yes, they used to be around this park called Wimbledon Common, and basically they used to go around and pick up litter. It was a children's program, but it was very, very good, and he used to do, I think he did 1 or 2 of the voices actually on that. And the Wombles was my childhood back in the 70s. It was brilliant. It really was, and very, very sad that Bernard Cribbins has died today. He was very old though, so he did well. I think he was 93, 94. So well done to Bernard Cribbins there. God, I don't think I'm going to make 93 or 94. No way. But good luck to him. Good luck to him. Dave, hopefully you're feeling better now. Yeah, I'm a bit better now, Scott. Thanks very much. What's your favourite job you've ever had? Your least favourite work job? Well, when I left school, I got a job in, well, not a job, it was sort of a training thing in IT, information technology. Now, don't forget, this was 1985. So you can imagine what the computers looked like back in 1985. They were absolutely massive blocks, the size of houses. That's what your modern PC computer was. So I got like a training course in IT. I did that for about a month before I thought to myself, this is not for me, because we just didn't do anything. We used to turn up for like the lesson, and we just didn't do anything. So it was going nowhere. So I left that, and I did go on to unemployment for only about 2 weeks. In fact, it was very, very short time indeed. And then a relative of mine who actually worked for a haulage company, he was actually the boss of the haulage company. He rang me up and said, are you interested in a job here? And of course, at the time, yes, I was. So that was basically my first job. I was working in a wine warehouse. I was the manual labourer, so I was the one that did all the lifting, and it was a wine warehouse, so we used to do wines and spirits, and some of those wines and spirits are bloody heavy. Some of those boxes were like 20 kilograms, something like that. Anyway, so they were heavy, and we used to have to lift them from the floor sort of above your head, and you used to do that, I don't know, 10,000 times a day, something like that. And that, unfortunately, was the major contributing factor to the condition that I'm in today, unfortunately. But we'll go into that at another time. But yeah, so that was my job. And after I sort of graduated from the heavy lifting, I started being like the driver. And I got to a point where I was obsessed with trying to get as many licenses as I could. So I bought myself a motorbike straight away, got the motorbike license for that. I still got the motorbike license, so that was good. So I used to ride to work on a motorbike, and then the next one was a car. So I got the license for the car pretty soon after that. I then went away and did a forklift course as well, which I managed to pass in 2 days, because I'd already been driving forklifts for about 3 or 4 years. So I passed that course as well. So I had a forklift license. I then went on to a industrial forklift license, which if you've seen them down the docks, it's like a huge, giant forklift. Huge thing it is. You've got your own little sort of seating area that you sit in. I went for the license on that, and I got that in 2 days as well. So I ended up with a forklift license. I then went on to the cranes. If you've ever been down the docks, you know the crane that comes down and lifts up the containers off the trucks, and then you're basically sitting on this overhead gantry, and then I then got that one as well. that was quite a tough one. That was the toughest one that I'd gone for. That took about 2 weeks of the course to get that. And the only one I missed was the HGV, the heavy goods vehicle. You know, the big trucks you see out on the road. I was actually due to go for that test, but unfortunately, I was sick, and because it was £1,000 to put someone through for that test, my boss had to give it to someone else. So I lost out on that, and you only sort of got this license you only got the opportunity to go for the license every couple of years. And by the time it was time for me to go again, I'd actually left the company. So unfortunate. But yeah, I just missed out on the HGV. But I did used to drive the HGVs at work quite a lot. They were absolutely a blast to drive. They really were. 22 forward gears. Yeah. You had to double declutch, which means you had to put the clutch in first to put the gear into neutral, then you had to clutch it again to then put it into the selected gear that you wanted. Yeah, I used to love that. You know, I couldn't do the reverse in the container bit. That is very difficult, where you had to steer in the opposite direction. That was tough. But I used to drive them about, because you could drive them about quite easily. It's just a big truck to drive, basically. You've got to be careful, but you could drive them about easily. It's just the reversing. That is a skill, an art form that you really got to, take on board. So yeah, that was my sort of obsession with trying to get. I've still got all these licenses. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've got that. I've got a 7.5 ton license. I think there was one in between that and then the HGV as well. So yeah, I could drive any of those things. Well, unfortunately, I can't anymore. But at the time, I could. And I actually ended up, just before I left, I was working on the big dock forklift. And that was great fun. That was great fun. It was absolutely massive. You imagine like a Tonka toy in real life. That's what it was like. You probably see them on the news. Those big trucks that pick up like the earth or whatever that they're taking out of these big sort of pits, massive like Tonka trucks, and you think, oh, I'd like to drive one of them. Well, this forklift was just like a version of that, only with forks on the front, obviously, and it was just great fun. It really was, because it was so big. I mean, who wouldn't want to drive something that big? And I was on that my last year of work. I was actually on that, and that was great. And of course, there was a lot less lifting doing that because the truck was so big that it did all the lifting. So I didn't really have to do anything except just drive the truck, which was great. And I loved that. I really did. I got to a point of being obsessive with driving. I mean, even after I finished work, I'd go out in my car sometimes for a 2-hour drive. Even though I'd been driving all day, I'd go out in the car for a 2-hour drive. So I really got an obsession with driving for a very, very long time, and that's probably where my love of computer game driving has come from. Yeah, because of doing all that. Because I don't drive at all now whatsoever. No, I haven't driven a vehicle since 2004, in fact. So there you go. But yes, that was great, and that was possibly my favourite job until it went bad, unfortunately, which I'll go into details at another time. But yeah, until it went bad, that was my favourite job. Driving down the docks in a massive, great forklift. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? Really, it was just, it was great. Picking up these big things off the back of lorries, big containers and whatever, and moving them around. Oh, it's brilliant. And fortunately, back in those days, I had A1 eyesight. Yes, A1 vision, which really helps because you need to be able to precisely put things on the back of trailers and whatever. And my vision was perfect. In fact, I didn't even have to go and see an optician for 20 years because I went and saw one when I was young, and he said, don't come back for 20 years. He says, your vision is absolutely perfect. Nothing wrong with it. And it was as well. It was perfect until I reached about 45, and then it rapidly went downhill. And now I can't see shit. I really can't see anything, but there you go. But I don't think you want to know his favourite Jamie! Yeah, let's not go into that job. No, that's not a job, that's a side hustle. Not the ones I'm thinking you will say on here. My side hustle jobs. I did a lot of side hustle jobs to make the money out. Believe it or not, this was the truth. Because back then, I was a lot beefier than what I am now. I've lost quite a bit of weight, but in my youth, I was a chunky monkey. And I used to work my normal job Monday to Friday and Saturday as well, in fact, and Sunday. But Friday night, I used to work from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Then I'd come home for an hour, have something to eat, and then I used to go and be a bouncer on the door at my local nightclub back in the 80s, 90s, at 7 o'clock. And I used to do that until about 3:30 in the morning. So I was on the door. I actually started glass collecting first. That was what I did, but I only did that for about a month. Then I was on the door, and I actually did that till about 3:30 in the morning. And then I'd go home, have about 2 hours sleep, and then I was back to work again on the Saturday at 6 a.m. Yeah, and I did that every single weekend for about 2 years. And the reason for that is because I wanted a new car. And I thought, well, the wages that I was getting for the full-time job wasn't enough to pay for a new car. So I thought, well, if you want it, then bloody work hard and do it. So that's what I did. So I did that for about 2 years, and I ended up with a very nice car out of it. Thank you very much. Yes, very nice car. But I didn't do it after that. I quit because it was pretty grueling to be doing that every Friday night, and I did it Saturday night as well. As I say, 3 hours sleep and then back to work again for another full 12-hour shift. That was bad, very bad indeed. Okay, enough of me waffling. I've been waffling now for 1 hour and 1 minute. That's it. Finito. Let's go and join the lads. Now, after last week, when nobody turned up, I have now got the whip out. Yes, all the people that I rang and didn't answer last week, they have been whipped repeatedly, and they have promised this week that they will be available. Yes, that's what they've said, so we will see. I bet you no one's going to answer again. Right. Let's find out. Now, excuse me for a moment. I've got to get rid of some people, because we can only do 8 at a time on Facebook. So I've got to get rid of all the people in the chat. Right, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh dear, I've got to get rid of 2 of you. Sorry. Don't forget you can join at any time though, so it's not really important. What 2 shall I get rid of? I have to get rid of you, I'm afraid. And you as well. I'm sorry. But I'll say you can join at any time. Just J says, what about the video business, Dave? Do anything like that? Anyway, let's move on from that. Yeah, I used to make videos. Very nice videos they were as well. Very arty. Entertainment. Yes, lots of landscapes. Lots of humps, you know, mountainous humps. That was my my videos. Let's Dave, put that whip away. That's for a different... Yeah, right, let's move on. We're going a little bit off centre here. Let's see if anyone's about. They bloody well better be. Da da da. Come on, Facebook. I restarted the computer before I started, so we should be alright. I've got to put my headphones on though, else I won't hear anyone. Oh my god, have we got someone on here? Oh my goodness! It's the Miss. Wait a minute. Before we start, are you ready for this? Ready?
What?
Dream, Daddy.
Listen, it's a great game. It's an underrated game. You know what I mean? I mean, do I think it's the most interesting game in the world? Absolutely not. But I'll admit that it's amusing. So I will say that.
Well, I have to say I've watched both your streams now. So do I get any reward for that or what?
Yeah. You get the special reward of saying hello to Stinky Baby.
Hello, Stinky Baby. She looks exhausted. What have you been doing to her?
Well, I've been exercising her. She likes to chase the ball around, and she also went swimming in the little pool that I have in the backyard here. Here, Daisy, come here. Go swimming in the pool.
Is that one of those swing ball things?
Yeah, exactly, Dave. That is one of those.
Yeah, we used to have one of those in the 70s. Glad to see it's coming back again.
They've stood the test of time. Yeah, it's actually really fun. I enjoy it.
Is it still the plastic racket?
Yep. Yeah, this is the racket here.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We used to go. Back in the 70s. We used to go through so many of those because we used to hit each other around the head with them.
But yeah, I'll just do a little demo.
Yeah, go on, do a demo.
Yeah?
Yep.
I'll do a little demo. Yeah, here you go.
Oh, yeah, it's exactly the same.
Oh, and then see, Daisy likes to chase it around. Then she just catches it and then she stops it. Oh, look at that. Did you see that, Dave?
I did, yeah. What was it?
Those chipmunks were running across the fence there.
Chipmunks?
You're getting some some nature documentary content on your channel here.
Good. I like a bit of nature, me.
And you got some tomatoes growing there.
Tomatoes. Tomatoes.
Oh, it looks
or
like
tomatoes?
Tomatoes, not tomatoes.
Oh,
you English man.
You say it how you want. I'll say it how I want.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Is it potato then or potato?
Yeah, potatoes, exactly. Oh, look at those. Those are ripe. Those are I think those are jalapeno peppers.
Oh, they look nice. I like them. I like a bit of spiciness.
Yeah. Let's see what's growing here. Cucumber.
Cucumber. Oh. Now there's lots of things you could do with a cucumber.
Well, I think there's more things that you can do with a zucchini. But these ones haven't quite turned out.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, look at how big the zucchini plant's getting. It's pretty impressive. And then the zucchini flowers are about to bud and bloom, so that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. What else is my dad growing in here? Oh, this is our failed lettuce patch.
Oh no!
It looks like that didn't quite turn out. It looks like is that radish? I'm not sure. It looks like the animals got into it. My dad tried to put up a chicken wire fence, but to no avail.
Those bloody chipmunks, bastards.
Yeah, there's actually in the area that I live, there's a lot of chipmunks. A lot of rabbits, raccoons, squirrels, skunks.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. And Stink doesn't chase them out of the yard. No, she actually wants to play with them. She wanted to play with a skunk once, and it didn't turn out too well.
No. Did she get sprayed?
She did get sprayed. Luckily, I was able to bathe her, like literally right after it happened. So
there's nothing like the smell of skunk, is there? It's just. Oh.
You know what, Dave? I wasn't expecting the smell. I would say that. I thought it was going to smell like really, really bad, but it just smells like burnt rubber. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So it's odd. The smell of a skunk and skunk spray, it like almost smells a little different.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, but yeah, like skunk spray just smells like burnt rubber. I mean, it smells bad, but
Yeah.
it's not as pungent and repulsive as people described it.
Why have you got any garlic planted? You're Italian, aren't you? Where's the garlic?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know what? That's a great question, Dave. Actually, if we go over here, we've got our basil plant here.
Oh, I like a bit of basil.
What else is growing here? I think these are just generic plant pots.
Can I just say to the viewers at home that garlic is just one of the easiest things you can grow, because you literally just take a bulb, plant it in a pot, and it will grow, won't it?
Yeah, they're pretty robust too. I've heard like they grow in they grow pretty rapidly in almost any climate as long as it gets enough sun and water, obviously. But no, yeah, garlic's pretty easy to grow. Oh yeah, Dave. Also, we have a raspberry bush too. I wonder if there are any. Oh, there's one there.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a couple budding here. I think most of my nieces picked most of them, if not all of them, and ate it. But yeah, there's been a couple. Oh yeah, there's a couple. I think those ones are actually over ripened. They're like a little bit of a dark red, but still good to eat. In fact, I'll pick one. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep, it's pretty good.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay, we've got some questions in the chat.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Matthew D'Souza says, "How old is Daisy?"
She's a year and 4 months, so 16 months.
Wow, it's a good age for a dog.
Yeah, she's patiently waiting for me to hit the ball. Any other questions in the chat, or just Maddie D?
Hang on. My tablet's decided to crap out just as I was looking at the questions. Jamie says, "I'll join when my food is here." Matthew says, "Nice fruit and vegetables. Surprised Daisy hasn't dug the fruits up. Good dog training."
Yeah, there's been times where she goes in the garden, and I've taught her from a young age to get out of there and not dig at anything. So now she's been a good girl in terms of that. Like, she doesn't try to eat the tomatoes or eat anything else. So she's really good in that sense.
And Scott says, Dom.
Oh yeah?
Dom,
yeah.
Have you noticed something on your YouTube channel?
Have I noticed something on my YouTube channel? Yeah, my twin is streaming this game called Dream Daddy. So I got to tell him to stop doing that.
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about, actually. Thank you, Scott Barnes, for subscribing to my channel, actually.
There you
Sorry,
go. Yeah, he's just said underneath, yeah. I subbed after your amazing sub job when Dave was ill. There you go.
No, I appreciate that, Scotty B. Yeah, thank you. That means a lot.
So you subbed for me when I was ill, and you got a subscriber out of it. That can't be bad.
That's right.
That can't be bad.
No, that's really nice. Thanks, Scotty.
Just J-Mo says, "How's the daddy game going?"
It's actually going pretty good, Jamie. We've met. I have to keep my voice down. I'm outside. We've met all the daddies, and now we have subscribed to Dad Book. It's like Facebook, but just for dads in the area. So, yeah. We went to a barbecue, which was nice. I think the next time I'm streaming is either Saturday night or Sunday night. I've got a pretty busy weekend, but hopefully one of those days I'll be able to stream. I'll let the chat know when I'm streaming, but I generally stream the game late if you're over there watching in England on Dave TV. 10, 11, 12, it should be like 3 a.m. your time.
Yeah,
because I stream around like 10 p.m. so it's like after 3 a.m.
But that's what the replay's for. You can watch it later. That's what I do.
Exactly.
I watched the first half of yours last night, and I watched the other half today. So there you go.
Nice.
If you thought that I disappeared halfway through, I did.
Yeah, and the thing too with the game, Dave, is there's a lot of dialogue to read.
Yeah, I
Like my
noticed. I
throat was
noticed.
starting to hurt.
I
Yeah,
noticed.
my throat was starting to hurt reading everything.
If you I did look it up on YouTube, and there's a really big F1 YouTuber called Markiplier's,
Okay.
and he has actually done a playthrough of that Dream Daddy. So
Oh wow.
so have a look at it. It's got like 9 million views. Part one has anyway. So have a look.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in fact, I looked through the first 10 minutes of it, and it's pretty similar to what you're doing. He's reading out all the dialogue as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I figured I'd read out the dialogue instead of just skipping through, because if anybody's watching the video and like they take their eyes off the screen, or they need to like go get a glass of water or something, they can still listen in, and I'm reading the lines out to them. You know what I mean? It just makes it more engaging
yeah.
rather than me just like pressing the X button.
I actually looked at the video because I was watching you. I say reading all that dialogue out, and I thought, I wonder if that's how other YouTubers did it when they first did it, because the game's quite old.
Yeah.
This Markiplier, this was 5 years ago, and I thought,
Wow.
I wonder if they actually read that out, because I was going to sort of say to you, don't bother doing that, Dom, because the others didn't bother reading it out. But no, he was reading out all the dialogue as well. So there you go.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. But yeah, so far so good, I guess, is the short answer to Jamie's question. Any more comments in the chat?
Yeah, let's have a look. Brilliant job, says Scott. Yeah, I love helping out in regards to being a sub to you. There you go.
Yeah, thanks again, Scott.
Matty D says the streams are great. I just can't watch them live on weekdays as I'm working a few hours later.
No, yeah, I appreciate that, Maddie. I saw you made a bunch of comments on the first video, so really appreciate that too.
And Jamie said Joe messaged me at 4 a.m. just to tell me you were streaming it the other day. Yeah, I got message as well, but I missed it, unfortunately. So yeah, we caught up though. We caught up. I've got all your episodes up to date now.
Yeah, I can't believe I got to 8 viewers at one point. I was like, holy crap, who else is watching this?
I know, and I was very, very insulted that you got to 8 viewers. I have to say, I was, especially considering you've got 64 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got to say about that, young man? Hey.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, I mean, you provide F1 content and I provide daddy content. And I mean, the people have spoken.
We should amalgamate the two, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
What are you going to do, young man, with that hose pipe? Are you going to?
No. Daisy's taking interest in the hose nozzle, and I'm not sure if I like that or not, because I don't want her like biting the hose and fixating on drips and shit like that. So
yeah,
just got to be careful.
My sister's dog, he used to love the hose pipe, just absolutely getting covered in it.
Oh yeah,
loved it. Yeah, he used to drink out of the hose as well. It was brilliant.
Yeah, that's what Daisy does. She drinks out of the hose, but she doesn't mind getting sprayed. Like, she'll walk into the spray, but she doesn't like actively chase a water stream.
Yeah,
which I like too. Daisy, you're drooling. That's gross.
She's a dog. That's what dogs do.
Yeah.
So is this a rare insight into the Orlando garden?
It is actually a rare insight. Yeah, I'm usually dwelling in my basement, but I can see that you caught me at a good time.
I can see that it's been very hot in Canada due to the grass.
Yeah. Well, this is actually a raccoon has actually been flipping up our sod. This is all sod that my dad laid down at the beginning of the spring, and a raccoon that lives under our deck. Actually, you'll be able to see the hole where he comes in and out of, right there.
Oh, that is definitely a raccoon.
Yeah.
Hotel.
There's also over here. That's a mouse hole. or a
Oh,
rat hole or something. There's also another hole that the animals get in through behind the raspberry bush. Oh yeah, you can see that.
yeah.
Yeah, down in the gap there is where they come out of. Where else? Right here is kind of another spot they go in and out of. So there's a lot of entry points that they kind of go in and out of. But yeah, what was I talking? Oh yeah, the grass. This is Daisy from running around this. This is the raccoon. And this spot here is also Daisy. But yeah. No, it has been really hot though, Dave. It rained a little bit today, which helps, but especially last week was really scorching.
What was that? What was that you just went past?
What was what I went
Is that
past?
is it that
Oh,
there? Is that a
yeah,
trap
this
or
is
something?
the trap for the raccoon. So
Oh,
we actually caught one, and so we drive him a few kilometers away and bring him out to a field. Uh, so we caught one of them like 2.5 weeks ago, but we haven't caught any others.
I've never seen a raccoon, not in real life. They're supposed to be quite vicious, aren't they?
Well, actually, the raccoons in Toronto are actually quite bold and fearless. I've been pretty close to one actually. Like they'll just like walk and sit on the fence, especially downtown Toronto, where they're more accustomed to seeing people. Um, I've seen a raccoon just like chilling on somebody's front porch, and like I just walk, like I walked maybe within 8 feet of one time, and he didn't seem to care because they just go through the garbage and stuff like that. But no, generally they're out at night. Some of them are really big. Like some of them are like just a little bit smaller than Daisy. Like they're really fat and big. Hey, get out of there. Um, but most of them are like, if you imagine just Daisy's torso, that's about the size of a raccoon around here.
Hmm.
They're actually kind of cute little critters. They're pretty cute, but they're pretty destructive, as you can see.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, we don't. I don't even think we get them over here. We might do. I don't know, but I've never seen one. Never seen one. Did you get any snakes?
Steaks?
Snakes.
Oh, snakes. No, I've never seen a snake actually.
Whoa. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, in Canada, snakes are pretty rare. At least from like because I live in a kind of suburban area and heavily populated urban area, more or less. Yeah, you don't really see snakes around here. Like not even a garden snake or anything. I've never seen one in real life in my life.
Wow. Impressive.
I'm guessing you've seen one, Dave, or no?
Yeah, we do get quite a few snakes in the UK. Only like adder is our sort of UK snake, and we get grass snakes as
Okay.
well. But yeah, I've seen a few grass snakes.
Okay.
When I
Yeah, never
when I
seen a grass snake.
when I moved into this house, there was like a compost bin at the bottom of the garden, and it was sort of half full of
Yeah.
compost that the previous owners had just left in there. So I thought, oh, I'll empty that out onto the grass and then get rid of it. So I tipped it up, and all this sort of half compost come out, and these two massive, great grass snakes come out the bottom of it as well. It was great.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they were massive. Well, they probably been living in there for God knows how long, because the house was unoccupied before I moved in for about 2 years. So yeah, they've probably been living in there for about 2 years, having a whale of a time in their sort of compost bin house. And there I come along like a douchebag and empty them out onto the grass.
Yeah, I think I'd freak out if I saw snakes. Come on.
Oh,
Good girl.
timer.
Oh, in you go. Okay, in your crate. In your crate. Your feet are all wet. In your crate.
That's it. Get
Good
in there.
girl. All right. Oh, there we go. Got Daisy outside for a good 45 minutes. Oh, and now we're back to familiar territory.
Nice, with the hole in the roof as well.
Indeed, yes. I still have to patch that drywall.
Matty D says, I've seen a lot of snakes. They all speak English for some reason. Interesting. Interesting. I have to say, Dom, I've got a hole just like that in my bedroom. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I should really fix that, but I just have no motivation to do it right now or anytime soon.
Well,
but I will have to get that sorted.
You need to ask in the chat if anyone sort of can do that sort of thing professionally, because I'm sure out of like 20 guys, there's probably one of them that can fix that for you. If they live in the United States and they don't mind a little drive, they might be able to fix it for you. You just got to ask them, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, my dad's a contractor too, so I can ask him for help. But,
there you go.
I just feel bad
there you go.
But, yeah.
He'll say, "No, do it your bloody self, son."
Exactly.
What do you think I'm going to do? I do this all day. You bloody do it.
But yeah, definitely gotta get that fixed.
Is that bigger than the last time I saw it? Or is it the same size?
No, same size.
Oh.
I was gonna say I'm surprised nobody else has joined us, Dave.
Well, Jamie says he was going to. He's just waiting for food. He's waiting for food, apparently.
Where's the plant pot?
I don't know. He said he was going to be here, didn't he? You heard him on Monday night, didn't you? He said, I'm going to be here.
I remember that.
I've sent him a message on his Facebook and said, Joe, I'm streaming in 10 minutes. And that was like an hour and 26 minutes ago. And where is he? Where is he? It's just me.
Yeah, I know.
It's just me, you, and the bear.
No problem with that.
He likes you, Dom.
That's good.
Can you tell?
Yeah, and I'm disturbed.
Disturbed? Why are you disturbed?
I don't know if I want a bear to like me.
Oh, but he does, don't you? Don't you, TB? Yeah, he says. Wait, what's that? He says he likes you, Dom. He likes your daddy. He likes watching your daddy streams. Dream Daddy.
Dear.
Dream Daddy. He says that's his favourite. Yeah, it's his favourite. He says Dream Daddy. What's that? He says, "Can I be your Dream Daddy?"
Oh no. Sorry, TB. I'm taken. So yeah, it's gonna be a hard.
You've upset him now. Look, he's gone in depressed. He's gone into depressed bear mode. Look.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
poor TB. Poor TB. Never mind. He's still got me, haven't you, TB? Anyway. Can't expect Princess Dom to do manual labour himself. That comes from Jamie.
Wow.
Wow. There you go. There's some shade for you. Answer that one. Go on. Come back with a pithy remark to that one. Hey?
I don't know if I can.
Oh no, I think you're done, to be honest. There's nothing that can come back from that, is there?
I don't think so.
Matt says, who would you trust more to look after TB from their dog, Dom or Joe? Oh, I don't know. And that's a question. How's Marty with cuddly toys?
He's actually quite ferocious with them.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say Daisy then. Daisy. Yeah, yeah. TB says Daisy. All the way. Daisy all the way. So, Dom,
Yeah.
if no one else is going to turn up, we better discuss Sebastian Vettel
Oh yes, we do need to
because
discuss Sebastian.
that's breaking news today, even though it's an hour and 26 minutes ago. But yeah, go on, go for it.
Yeah, I mean it's an end of an era. It's a real shame that he's retiring, but I think it was a show that dragged on for a little too long. It was, it's a shame seeing his decline in the Aston Martin, and they just couldn't give him a good car. Even Otmar left the team. It's just been downhill for Aston Martin and Sebastian Vettel since he moved to that team. And I mean, that you got to remember, Dave, that was a car in 2018, and I believe even in 2020 that was getting podiums.
Yep.
Uh,
But that's because they copied Mercedes.
Here's Jamie. Jamie, what do you think of the announcement of Sebastian Vettel's retirement?
I'm not surprised. Quite sad about it, but it was inevitable, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think. Well, yeah. It's the thing is, he's got nothing to prove, and I think Dave said it earlier. Being in that Aston team, they're not going full. They're not going anywhere, are they? I think he went there to kind of. He went there in the hope, or they wanted him in the hope that he could develop that team. And I don't think it's through fault of him at all. But they're just not good enough, are they? So.
No.
The whole Aston Martin team is a complete shit show. It really is. It's just, it's going nowhere. They're not making any progress. In fact, they're going backwards because, as Dom said, that was a Racing Point car that was winning podiums 2 years ago, and now they were fighting last week over a single point.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a fight, to be honest. I think, I think they did have a little bit where they were close, but I think that's the other thing with Seb as well. I said it earlier. He's kind of like risk over reward these days.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem too fussed about it,
Yeah.
A Seb from a few years ago, he was beating Stroll in France. He would have just gone past him, but he kind of had a look, thought, it didn't really work, can't be bothered now.
Exactly. Yeah. So here's the thing then. I was looking at Twitter earlier for contenders for his replacement, and so I'm going to ask you what your thoughts are. Now, the biggest contender at the moment, on Twitter at least anyway, this is just purely hearsay, so, it's not gospel, is Mick Schumacher. So what do you think?
I'd like to see him stay in the Ferrari program. I think at this point the Haas car is actually better than the Aston Martin. So I don't think that would be a good career move. I think it would kind of be a backwards move, in my opinion, or if at the very least a lateral move. But I guess that begs the question, do you think Mick Schumacher is going to go to another team before he maybe potentially even reaches Ferrari? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, it's going to be a long time before he gets in a Ferrari seat. Let's face it, because they both signed multi-year contracts, haven't they? So that's not going to happen for at least another 3 or 4 years. So yeah, if he's going to go anywhere else, it's going to have to be somewhere before he goes to Ferrari. If he ever goes to Ferrari, because just because you're in that academy doesn't guarantee you that you're going to end up in Ferrari.
Yeah.
Mick Schumacher isn't good enough for a Ferrari.
No,
we all want to be grateful to the name, I suppose. But he's a million miles away off being good enough for that car. And I agree with what Dom said. Look, going to Aston Martin ain't going to do him no favours. That, like, where he is at the moment, like, that car, to be fair, is like fantastic compared to what it was. Like, they've come on a long way. And so if they can keep progressing, then why not stay there?
Yeah. I think his mixed race engineer is good for him. A lot of people online kind of praise his engineer. I mean, Magnussen is also a good mentor for him. And Magnussen's got pace, and he's scoring a ton of points for the team. You know, like, they're actually up there in the Constructors standings. So if things stay the way they are, they're going to get a lot of prize money, Dave, at the end of the season. So I think his best move is to just stay at Haas until, like, maybe for another 2-3 years. I mean, unless, like, there's a great opportunity somewhere else. But I don't see Mick leaving the Ferrari program, and B, I think the Haas, like, I think the Haas is even slightly better than the Alfa Romeo right now. So I think the Haas is the second best Ferrari power unit. So
I agree with that.
I see Mick as basically another Ralph Schumacher. He's trading on the famous name of Schumacher, but he just hasn't quite got that. I mean, look how Michael Schumacher came into the sport. I mean, what he did one race in that Jordan, which was an absolute dog of a car at that time. It got a lot better, but I think it was 93 or whatever, or maybe 91, I can't remember, but it was one race in that Jordan in Spa, and I think he finished fifth or something like that anyway, and that was it. He was straight into a career. I think it was in the Benetton straight away, and I've not seen any kind of flashes of brilliance of that from Mick whatsoever. He just comes across to me as another Ralph Schumacher, which was basically Ralph came into the sport after Michael and was trying to hang on to the coattails of Michael. And for a little while, he did do very well in that Williams car. He did do bloody well, but he just
he'd done it right in that Williams.
Yeah, he did. But as soon as he left and went to Toyota, it just all turned to shit, and then that was it. He was gone.
For me, I was going to say a minute ago, like, for me, I don't think Mick will even be in the sport in maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah.
To me, he looks like another driver who's going to end up in, like, he'll go to like Formula E or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or like it'll take up another he might even go to like DTMs or something.
Yeah.
Which he might do all right, but he won't be in Formula One in 4 or 5 years' time, I don't think.
No. He also reminds me a bit of Bruno Senna, if you remember him. He did absolutely appallingly, didn't he? And everyone thought he was going to be like the next big thing because he was a Senna. But admittedly, he was in a shit car. He was in a Minardi, so you got to give him a bit of credit for that. But he just didn't show any sort of brilliance whatsoever. So yeah, it just goes to show, just because you've got Senna as your second name or even Schumacher does not guarantee that you're going to be any good in the sport.
No, that's it. I don't know, but yeah, definitely a shame that Seb's going. I think his original post dragged on a little bit, but
yeah, I did see that. He did, yeah. From looking at that, I don't even think he's going to continue racing. To be honest, I think he's done. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, he did speech out a little bit. I thought, okay, that's enough, Seb. We know what we need to know.
That's enough. Yeah. Okay, I got some messages in the chat. Let's read them out. Matty D says to Dom, does Stinky always stay in her crate, or do you have a room for her or a playroom?
Oh yeah, I play with her a lot. Like when she's inside. As of late, I've been letting her roam the crate a little bit. Not right now because her feet are wet, so that's why I put her in the crate. But like if I can't supervise her or something, or like during a league race, she'll be in her crate. Yes. As Jamie says, That dog is always in a crate, man.
Don't think I say it like that, but yeah, okay.
Can I just say, if anyone wants to watch his streams at the weekend of, what's it called again, Dom? Daddy? I've forgotten.
Dream Daddy.
Dream Daddy, that's it. I keep forgetting. If anyone wants to watch his streams at the weekend of Dream Daddy, can I just say that Dominic Orlando is an absolute genius at voices. Oh my god! If you want to go back and watch his first stream, he has got an Irish accent in there that is just I just can't believe it. It's so real life. It's unbelievable. It's brilliant. It really is. He basically saw an avatar on screen, yeah, who was fat and ginger, and he decided within a millisecond, oh, must be Irish then.
His name was Brian.
Oh, and so he was fat, he was ginger, his name was Brian, so that obviously means he must have been Irish.
Well, he could have been from Boston, to be fair. But...
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, he was wearing a green shirt. You know,
oh, a green shirt. So there's confirmation. Oh, wait, I must be Irish then. I'm Irish.
Maybe it was a Celtics shirt. Boston, that's their team, isn't it? Boston Celtics.
You know what? Go watch the stream and maybe decide for yourself, because I felt like he had Irish descent.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dom. It was genius. I watched it and I thought, I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's just genius. And those different, and the way you switch the accents as well when you go to the different characters, it's just, I tell you, it's the best thing on YouTube right now. So anyone who wants to go see it, because it's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I do need to catch up on it, because like, I mean, obviously I have to go.
It's unmissable. It's unmissable.
The thing is, I have to be like a bit sensible these days and go to bed at sensible times.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had a message from Joe from 4 a.m. saying, Jay, you've got to come watch Dom streaming Daddy or whatever it's called. So obviously I missed the message.
Yeah.
But then, and sometimes, like obviously, like when I'm at work, I gotta admit, sometimes I don't do a lot of work sometimes. So I'll be standing there watching some of your street like videos or whatever, or just anything like. But yeah, I was really I wanted to see Dom's one the other day, like the day after for us, you know, like it was like 4 a.m. in the morning. So like that day, I wanted to watch it, and then thought to myself, how can I justify standing here at work watching my friend on YouTube play a game called Dream Daddy? You know, I was like, I think I'm going to have to save that one for another time, because you know, because I can be watching my phone and a passenger comes up to me who hasn't got a ticket or just wants to know something in general, you know. It wouldn't have been good. It would not. No, it wouldn't. Yeah.
Dom, you're the only streamer now that I know where if anyone watches your videos, they have to make sure they put it in a special folder first, just so they can view it.
Yeah.
Imagine playing this game in constant fear that your parents are going to walk in on you. Okay? That's what I'm worried about, Dave. And you know what?
Go on.
I have a really sick feeling in my stomach that it's going to happen. My dad's going to walk in the room, and I'm going to I'm not going to get it off the screen in time, and I'm going to have to sit there, and my camera's on too. I'm going to have to sit there and explain to him that I don't even know what I'm going to explain to him, that I'm just playing a game that happens to have homosexual elements in it. You know,
I'll tell you what, that would be comedy gold, though. It really would.
Honestly, if it happens,
is your dad quite stern as well?
He was stern growing up, but not not terribly stern. No,
Oh, that's all right then. I could
he's
just imagine
mellowed
him.
out.
I could just imagine him standing over you saying, "Now, Dominic, would you like to explain what you're doing here?"
Yeah, he would just probably be like, "What is this?
Yeah.
You know, like what is this?
What is
That's
this?
probably
What
what he
is
would say,
this
like,
shit
what are you
you're
doing?"
playing, son?
He'll be
So,
calling up. He'll be on the phone to the therapist, just like.
Hmm.
yeah.
Right, we've got quite a few messages.
Yeah.
Matty D says Lawrence Stroll is a terrible owner, ruined Williams, now Aston.
Yeah.
He also says Mick Schumacher is still unproven at top level, in my opinion. Yeah, he is, but is he going to get the opportunity to get proven? That's going to be the thing, isn't it? We will find out.
I don't think, before you go, just touching on that quickly. All right, he's not in a great car, but you can still see when someone's got the pace and the talent to step up, you know.
True.
He makes too many mistakes. He makes, he isn't always on pace. He's just another average driver. He's not got, you can tell if he had that thing where he's going to be like, right, in 2-3 years time, he's driving for Ferrari, Mercedes, whoever, you would already know, but you can just see that it's not there.
Yeah, he's not like a Charles Leclerc that was in the Alfa Romeo back in 2018. Like it's not that same vibe.
No.
I
wish it was, because I really like him. I genuinely like him. But I wish he was, but you can tell it's not there.
Helium Trophy says he's closer to Ralph than Michael in terms of ability. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And Scott Barnes says maybe Alex Albon to Aston Martin.
Oh, God.
Again, yeah. Well, I mean, Aston and Williams are both the 9th and 10th teams in the Constructors, so they're the two worst teams. So,
and also, Don, the two worst teams and the two teams that contain Canadian drivers. Is that correct?
Yeah. No, thanks, Dave. Thanks for that statistic. But the Canadians aren't doing that well this year. Aside from Lance just scoring a point in France, but they've been abysmal this year, and the cars have been really bad too. But Latifi's stay in F1, I feel, has been overdue, and Stroll is there for his money. Stroll's proven himself sometimes, like he's had his moments of brilliance, but not consistently. So. But I mean, he'll always have a seat as long as Lawrence is the owner of a team. So, Stroll's cemented in F1 for now, until his dad finds some other financial endeavor to chase. But Latifi, I guess Latifi's there for the money too. Like nobody really talks about Latifi bringing in wealth to Williams. I suppose he does. But his stay, I feel like, has been his welcome has been overstayed in F1. He hasn't done much of anything really in F1.
I could be wrong, Dave, you might know, but didn't Lawrence Stroll the other day mention something like if we have to get rid of Lance, it'd be the toughest decision of our life, but it'd be for the right reasons or something.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, you're right, Jamie. Yeah, I saw that myself, yeah.
Yeah, he did. I was thinking, it was like just last week, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I'm sure it was along those lines. He said, like, if the decision's to be made, it's one that I wouldn't like to do or whatever, but it'd be for the right reasons and, that's life sort of thing. Like
exactly, yeah. I mean, even though it's your son, you can only support them so much. He's still got a business to run, and if Lance isn't the one that's going to pull that team forward, then he's probably got no choice. And Lance knows that. Just because he's the owner of the team I don't think it guarantees him a seat for life, personally. I really don't. I say, you know, he may be the owner of the team, but he's got sponsors and he's got other people that he's got to, you know, keep happy. And if they turn around and say, you know, your son just isn't doing it, then he'd be within his rights to get rid of him. Right, Scott says, and this is in reference to my Michael Schumacher comment I said earlier about when he started in Formula One. He started 7th, retired on lap 1, and the next race in 1991, that's when he went to Benetton. So thanks for that, Scott. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. And Helium Trophy says there's also Ralph's son, David. I didn't even know there was another Schumacher, to be honest. Does anyone know?
Doesn't he racing DT? I think he races like in the Porsche series or something.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't watch that, so I wouldn't have known. So
yeah. Who was it? Sorry, I didn't. Did you say it was
Helium Trophy?
Oh, well, maybe they'll be able to let us know. I can't remember. I swear I've seen him in the Porsche series or something like that.
I'm with you. Scott then says, or even Nick. He's using my catchphrase here. Nick, my fries might be an Aston Martin. That's Nick De Vries, if no one watches my videos.
What's it? Formula E's in London this weekend.
Nice.
Literally, it's just down the road. Like I say, just down the road. It's like by train. It's like 20 minutes away. It's at the XL.
Nice. I also saw on Twitter earlier that out of the whole of the lineup of the 2008 season, which 2008 was sort of when a lot of the youngsters came into the sport as well, there's only 2 left out of that original lineup, and that's Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty wild.
Like for me, like even when you look at some of the drivers in F2 and that, you think, oh yeah, there are a few good drivers, but you're never going to get the same like of what there has been recently.
Yeah,
I think like honestly, like I think like Max is like it's almost like Max is going to be the last driver for a long time to come in and make like a massive impact, like a young driver.
Yeah.
You look at it now, and there are a couple of good F2 drivers in there, but they all seem so much more reckless. I don't know why. You know, like it's just like a different generation, a different way of thinking. It's really weird. Like, there's no one who I look at and think, you know what? He's just got that pure focus and pure ability. Like, they all make so many mistakes.
Right, we got another one from Matty D. This is for Dom, and as you haven't seen this yet, Jamie, I'll just tell you it's about his dream daddy shit or whatever. And one of the avatars, surprise, is named Joseph. and Matt says Dom's reaction to Joseph being the muscular dude in Dream Daddy was legendary.
Yeah. Well, I was just surprised that there was a character named Joseph.
I actually, when I first saw that, I actually thought he's made that character up himself, and he's typed in as Joseph. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I thought that can't be real, surely. And Matt ED also says, what game calls a character Matt with 1 T? It's Matt with 2 T's. The game developers are plums. There you go.
Yeah, I saw that too. I noticed that too.
I reckon Joe had already played the game before you played it.
Yeah, probably. He's probably got it on a secret account somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah, because he was the one who spoke about it, wasn't he? He was the one who, and we was all like, "Oh yeah, Dom should play it."
One thing I did find out though, Dom, that version you've got, did you notice it says Dad Director's version or something?
Dad Rector's version.
Dad-
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I looked it up on YouTube. There's a secret ending to that version.
Oh no.
Yes.
God.
Okay, don't spoil anything
it's
else.
all right. I'm
That's
not
all I
gonna
need to
say
know.
what that is. You have to look it up on YouTube, and you might have to do a certain things in certain order to get that secret ending. But yeah, that's what the Dad director's versions thing. There's a secret ending on it. There you go.
Ah, okay.
I don't want to know, but it's probably similar to one of your films back in the day.
Yeah, it ends up as a massive orgy, I expect.
Oh man.
Wowzers. Wowzers.
Oh dear.
Well, gentlemen, I think we've covered it all.
I think so too, yeah.
The sad news today about Sebastian Vettel. So
Have you
just
done
before we
you-
go then, just before we go, we'll have a 2-minute soundbite on Hungary.
I was
First
going to
pla-
say we haven't spoken.
Yeah, first place predictions, please.
I've been rudely interrupted by Amy coming in the kitchen, so if you just give me 2 seconds, I'll be able
All
to
right,
hear
then,
you.
no problem, Jamie. We'll go to Dom. Dom, go for it.
I'm gonna go for Charles first place. I think he'll turn things around. Max second, and Hamilton third.
Nice. Can I just say that after this race, we've got a 3-week break. Am I the only one that's actually thinking that's good? I just seem to have a bit of F1 fatigue. What about you guys?
I think there has been a bit of overkill.
Yeah.
Everything's just been bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
But then when it's at times when it's like the other way round, when I have to wait 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, for fuck's sake, I've got to wait another 2.
I know.
You can't win. Like you
can't
cannot win.
You can't win. Yeah, I understand.
Because it weren't until that long ago, like a few years ago, that it was like every 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's what it should be. They should go back to that because it was just, and you could plan everything out a lot better. You could say, yeah, okay, there's no race this week, but there will be one next week. But now you haven't got a clue because sometimes you got back-to-back races, sometimes it's every fortnight, and then sometimes you got like a big break, and then you're like, oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it was every 2 weeks, like consistently, I was like, yep, that's fine. Then they started there was a couple of races in a row, like week after week, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, and then that's when it crept in that when it was another 2-week gap, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, there's not a race next week now.
Yeah. I can understand.
And now,
I can understand it like France to England because it's only 22 miles away, so you can understand why they do them back to back. That's fair enough. But for all the others, I think they should just space them out over the 2 weeks. But unfortunately now, with so many races, they can't do that because otherwise they'll still be doing Grand Prix a couple of days before Christmas, won't they? I mean, was it the I think it was the 2020 calendar with COVID when they had to do it really late. We had the last one on, was it the 12th or 17th of December, wasn't it, or something like that? It was only about a week before Christmas, wasn't it?
it was like a week before Christmas,
Yeah, because they had to cram 17 races in, didn't they, into that 6-month gap that they hadn't been racing for. But yeah, unfortunately, with the amount of races, you just can't separate them out now into thing. That's why I've always said I think 17 races, that's the sweet spot, and that should be the maximum for any season.
Yeah, I think, like you say, they are. I mean, what was it? I can't remember what one it was, but it was like a few weeks ago. They was in Europe, and then they literally had to travel over the other side of the world for the week after.
That was stupid. And they keep talking about climate change and sustainability. I think someone should have worked that out a little bit better. It's places on a map. Surely you can work out which is the next one closest to go to. It's not rocket science, is it?
But I think as well, that's where you'll start getting like performance levels drop as well.
Yeah.
Because however much they say they are, like, they're fit and all this, but you can't keep doing that.
No, you can't. Ridiculous.
Like, you can't, like you say, going in between European countries, not too bad. You can do Austria, Italy, like Germany, we wish, like France to UK, all right, you might get stuck in a tunnel, well, waiting to cross the border for about 4 days, but
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all doable. But yeah, when they had to fly like over the other side of the world a few like last month or if it was, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
But anyway, what's predictions for Hungary?
Yeah, predictions for Hungary. Dom said Leclerc first.
Yeah. Charles, Max, and then Lewis.
Lewis. Controversial.
I'll go
He's
with.
been on form lately, so
Yes.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Max, Lewis, and Perez.
Wow, even more controversial. Lewis in second.
Yeah,
no
I think.
Ferraris. No Ferraris on the podium, Jamie.
Yeah.
No, just Hungary's a technical track, and I'll tell you what, right, Max, all right, obviously I love Max, but I'm going for him because at the minute he is clearly in, like, his performances at the minute, no one's touching him.
Yeah.
No one is touching him at the minute.
Yeah.
Lewis, because I think he has turned a corner and he's got the pure ability to get more out of the car than he can overdrive that car basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting to that level recently where he's starting to do that again. He's having to do that because of the way the car has been.
Yeah.
And it's just taken him a while to work out how to get that performance out of the car. And then Perez, because it is quite a technical track and that's where he excels a lot more. I thought he was awful in France last week. He really had, considering how he has been doing, he was awful. But the reason he was awful is because it's such a fast track and he's not a fast driver.
Mm-hmm.
You stick him in on a track with loads of corners and that, and he turns brilliant. So, yeah. And the Ferraris are either just going to blow up or, something crap.
That's a lot of corners at Hungary for Charles to negotiate, isn't it? That's the trouble. A lot of corners.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't seem to be doing very well on the corners, does he, Charles?
I know you probably spoke about France earlier and I missed it, but in a really bad way, when I saw him spin the other week, I burst out laughing.
Yeah, it was just bizarre, and the way I instantly thought that's got to be a technical failure. But when he come out and said no, it was just me, I was like, what?
Yeah.
How did that happen? And it was a sort of, I don't know, it's sort of a half spin round, wasn't it? And then he just put it in and it just went right round, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
How, Charles? How?
He's not. I don't know. He seems to, like, when he's leading, like, they need to. Well, I don't think the team radio or anything help, or their strategists. I don't think that they're helping. I think they probably need to be a lot calmer in his ear. But it's like when he's leading, he doesn't settle into consistency. It's like he still pushes too much, or someone's telling him to push, and then he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
You just want to, you just need, if you're in first, you just basically need to set 6 laps all the same time. Just be consistent. You don't need to do anything else. Just be consistent. And you've got the other guy behind you. You can save fuel. You can save your energy. You're in first. You can save your energy. Charles just seems to keep on pushing a bit and then fucks up.
Yeah.
And I think he even did say, I was pushing. I just pushed the car too much.
Mm-hmm.
But why? He was in first. You ain't got to push nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no, do you know what I mean? There's nothing to push for. You're in first.
Yeah.
It's the other guys behind you that who've got to push and try and do something. But I don't know. We'll see. Again, I really like him. I just kind of, I didn't burst out laughing because I didn't like him. It was almost just a but what the actual fuck have you just done?
It was just funny. I was saying, and bizarre the way it happened as well. You know, because you don't expect it. I think I may have said in the ERL chat a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember. I said that he reminds me a bit of Damon Hill, because Damon Hill used to make silly, stupid mistakes, usually when he was in the lead.
Yeah.
So it
but
reminds me a bit
for
of
his
that.
time, Damon Hill was really fast in a good car. But
That 96 his championship year. I'm not quite sure. I think 3 times he spun out, and twice I think he was in the lead when he did that. I remember seeing his car on like the cameras. There was a camera on the bridge, and it was looking down. His car was spun out in the middle of the track, and he had no one around him. Nothing. He just spun it, going in a straight line. He just spun it. I was like, unbelievable. Yeah. But he still won, of course, because I say he was. Yeah, as you say, he was in like the best car of '96 anyway. So you know, because Michael Schumacher went to Ferrari, and that Ferrari in '96 was it was all right, but it was still getting over the 95 car, which was so heavy. It was unbelievable. So yeah, that was his transitional year at Ferrari. So he didn't do.
Wasn't the 96 Ferrari the one that was an absolute rocket in a straight line, but just couldn't corner?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was really fast in straight line. But yeah, because in '95 you had the Benetton boys, Alesi and Berger were both in that Ferrari, and they both said it was so heavy because they still had the V12 engine in it, and it was so heavy. It was unbelievable. Here he is. Look, he's just turned up, and I'm going. He's just about. He's just turned up, and I'm going. Look at that.
You can't wrap it up now, Dave.
That's it. We're going now, Joe.
No.
Honestly, I gotta head out, guys. So I'll catch you guys later.
Sorry, Dave. I just woke up. I was having a nap with the baby.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Napping is more important than Hookster talks, I guess. How do you feel about that, Dave?
I don't know how to feel about that. Well,
I didn't say it's more important than Hookster talks. I just said that's what's happening.
Just before Dom goes, then Joe, you got 1 minute to discuss Dream Daddy.
Oh, well, I'm really upset that so far. I know you can't see my face because the camera's pointed the wrong way. I am upset that so far it seems like Dom kind of wants to date my dad. I mean, not my dad, but the Joseph character in the game.
That doesn't surprise anyone else at all, to be honest.
I'm giving all the dads a fair shake.
Like
you want to try to rephrase that, Dom?
I'm giving all the dads a fair chance.
Good. That's a little better.
So what have you just done? Because the camera was pointed at your face, now it's pointing at your steering wheel. Oh, there we go.
There we go. How's that? A little better?
Yeah.
All right. I put it on top of my Wii. Holy fuck, Rachel! What are you doing here? Fucking Christ!
What the fuck just happened?
You're gonna wake the baby.
Can you come a little further into the doorway? A little bit? Okay, that's not. That's fucked, Rachel.
That was like a scene out of The Exorcist, just peering around the door.
What the fuck is wrong with you? How long have you been in my house?
A long time.
Texted me. I don't do the phone. We know this.
Joe, surely you know who's in your house, for God's sake.
Well, actually, Rachel's been using my house for the past fucking feels like 2 months because her family got COVID and she's been hiding out here.
That's nice, you know.
That is very nice of me, actually. Have you been getting free dinners too? Why are you standing there like a psychopath? Where are you going? Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you saying to me, Dave, before I was interrupted by... Oh, we were talking about the daddies. The daddies, right? I'm sorry. My camera's just discombobulated here.
Yeah, we keep on... I don't want to... Can you put it a bit higher, Joe? That's really not where I want to see your camera. Yeah.
All right, so... So, he He's chosen to date the Joseph daddy. Did you hear about this?
Joe, I'm not listening until you put your fucking camera up, honestly.
What's wrong with my camera?
What do you mean, what's wrong? You know exactly what's wrong with your camera. Stop having your cock out.
Let's see if we can fix this. There we go.
That's better.
How was work today?
It's shitty. I had to stay late.
Oh, when did you text me? Can you sit down so I don't look like I'm talking to myself? You want to say hi to Rachel, Dave?
Hi, Rachel. Remember me?
Hi. I do remember you. How can I forget?
Oh, look at that. I like that. How could you forget? She kept beating me in ERL, Joe. I'm still sore about that.
No, I just think that's those rectal problems, Dave. I think that's different. So, Dom, fix your ceiling?
Yeah. Say again?
Did you fix your ceiling?
No, I did not.
Joe, does it look like Dom's fixed his ceiling? There's a
Oh.
massive hole.
It doesn't fucking look like he fixed it. Dom told me the other day he knows how to do drywall, so I was just wondering when he was going to get to it. So, Dom, could you help me and Jamie out? We're just wondering, how do you patch that hole?
Well, so the first thing I would have to do is obviously
My dad.
say again.
Call your father.
No, I can do this myself.
We've had this discussion already, Joe. Like,
Yeah.
so he's gonna call his dad, and his dad's gonna say, "No, do it yourself." But,
Right.
But then
This
Dom,
is-
being
this is
Princess
what I
Dom,
do.
can't do it himself.
First of all, hi Don, welcome to the stream. Second of all, I'm gonna cut a big section out, right? I have to cut it square. And then I'm going to measure that section out that I've cut a little sheet of drywall, place it in, kind of tap in the drywall using a drywall setting bit and drywall screws, obviously. And then I have to tape it, like I have to put the spackle and stuff like that. Then I have to sand.
What kind of tape, Dom? Can I use like masking tape?
Anyway,
Can I use
Dave,
duct tape?
what the fuck did I just walk into?
There's
what did Dom do
specific
to his room?
there's drywall tape you can buy. That,
Oh my! Can we go back to the completed job over there?
no, when there was a leak, like I had to tear off like all the drywall tape was wet, so I had to
Jeez,
tear
that's
that off.
indistinguishable.
Let me show you where the source of the leak was.
Can you show me that back just one more time?
Just give me a minute. There we go. Got my light. Okay, so above this room is a laundry room, and as
by
you
the
can
way,
see,
Don, the woman behind me, her name is Rachel. She's been staying at my house because her family left her. So because she's homeless, I said you can stay here for a little while.
Joe's adopted her, yeah.
Yeah, I have adopted her. I'm her stepdad. Which
are you her dream daddy?
no, I'm Rachel's stepdad. Do you think that's a problem, Dave?
Could be.
Fucking homos playing a game like that. What the fuck's wrong with y'all?
Hey,
Joe.
listen, I think it's a brilliant game
Mainly
that
goes
just
to
has
Joe,
some
'cause he's
homosexual
the one that
elements.
started this whole about this game.
Well,
Oh my! Never mind.
what's wrong, Dom?
Yeah,
Nothing.
what the fuck
Nothing.
are you doing, Dom?
Mom, can I see what the matter? What's up in the ceiling?
No, a piece of drywall just like fell on me, and I thought it was a bug.
You know, just looking at this picture on screen right now, it reminds me of that TV show. What was it called? Five Guys and One Girl or something?
Something like that.
I'm not sure that was quite a TV show, Dave, but yeah.
Oh, just me again, is it?
So where have you been all day?
At work.
I'm your stepdad. I demand to know where you've been.
Listen, yesterday, guys, I stayed late at work and I didn't tell Joe, and it was
Call
a
me-
disaster.
Call me daddy.
It was a disaster.
Wow.
I got home, I got asked for 20 questions. Where have you been? Who have you been with? What have you been doing? Why didn't you text me?
For the sake of this conversation, can you please refer to me as daddy?
I will not refer to you
Hey,
as
Joe,
How about Big Daddy?
Please don't.
when she kicks your ass, I'm going to laugh.
Would you prefer to call me Daddy, Big Daddy, or Big Daddy Joe? Dave, what do you think?
I
None.
think Joe wants to die tonight.
No, nothing. Okay. All right. Well, fine. You can just call me Sir.
I listen,
Anyways,
I
Gentlemen,
saw your
sorry.
video.
and Rachel, sorry, I sorry to interrupt. I do have to go though.
Where are you going?
So, I listen. I just gotta go. I've been sitting down for hours. Like I need to go. You know, I want to do stuff. I want to take a shower. I want to make dinner. I want to eat.
Dave,
We
I
are
want
doing stuff.
family to be with you guys, and Dom just wants to go do anything else.
I was the first person who joined this stream, and I gave Dave. Go back to the beginning of the stream. I gave him a nature documentary for Christ's sake.
It's such a hindrance to you. I'm sorry that you had to make this sacrifice for Dave. My God. Look at this.
Anyways, I'll catch you guys later.
All right, Dom. Whatever you
All
say,
right, Dom.
buddy.
Bye, 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 bye.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah, Dave.
Everyone's
What are you doing?
frozen.
I'm not frozen. I hear a woman's voice. Do you guys hear a woman's voice?
No.
Jamie, are you frozen? Are you just really still? Jamie's
Yeah,
frozen.
Jam-
Dave,
yeah,
did you-
Jamie.
What, Dave? Where the hell are you going?
I'm standing up. I've been sitting down here for 2 hours.
All right, I don't know what's going on. Why everyone's failing here?
Because I'm
So-
tired of seeing you, Joe.
So, I see you texted me after work. Let me see about that.
I texted you when I got here. I texted Stefan.
No, you wrote "Donde está?"
Where are you?
Okay. Do I look like I speak Portuguese?
I'll show you. I texted Steph
You're damn right you'll show me,
and I said,
because I'm your stepdad.
Yeah.
"Shit, heck, I'm running around the hospital." He said, "You better text your father." And I didn't. And then I texted her when I was out and said I needed to get gas because I was on E.
I think you're going to have to do extra chores tonight. I don't know how they write the porns, okay?
Why are we doing a porn?
I just, for the guys. Come on, can't you just do it for the guys?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look, James back.
Jamie,
Yeah, we're trying to
I don't know
figure
what
out.
happened.
We're trying to figure out the lines, like the way that we would do the porn, like the back and forth. But I haven't really watched many like stepdad daughter things. It's not my deal. So
Well, I'm sure Dave knows a few.
anyway, let's move on.
so where was Dom in such a big hurry to?
I don't know. He gets very creepy
yeah.
sometimes. He gets to that point and he's like, I gotta go. I don't know where he goes. Does anyone know where he goes?
Suffering through incontinence?
Could be.
I mean, he might have just needed a shit or something, to be fair. Though.
Isn't that incontinence? Oh, is it?
Maybe he wanted to get off and play Dream Daddy.
Could be.
Oh shit! Your mother's home. Quick! She'll find us.
I can't cope with this today, Jesus.
Jamie, please. This is my first time. Is this your first time? Sandra?
Sandra?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, Sandra.
The worst thing about this is it does look, that sofa there, they sit down and have a little chat, have an interview before.
So tell me about your day.
I don't think it. I
Well,
don't
that's
think
the
it quite.
best idea, Rachel. That's the best idea.
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
don't think it goes quite like that. Usually, it's like, "Is this the first time you've done anal or something?" I don't know.
So tell me.
Why don't we turn it? Remember when Dave's streams were just about F1 and just talk in general?
I can't remember the last time I
Discussion.
talked about F1 on these streams.
So tell me, why do you want to work here?
No, interviewing for a job?
Yeah.
What kind of job?
It's one you're not qualified for, so you have to make up for it. Get it? You're not qualified for jobs, so you're gonna have to.
Dave.
Joe, you need to ask what her biggest assets are.
So, I see from your resume you've got a lot of qualifications.
I
What are some
can't.
of your assets that aren't on here?
I'm sorry, my ass?
Dave, you're gonna get defunded, demonetized.
Oh, I shouldn't worry about that. Can you do the shoplifting scenario? I like them ones.
Okay, no. I don't know why we're gonna take requests here. Okay, this isn't fans only. How much can you make on the OnlyFans, Dave?
A lot. A
Why
lot.
are you answering something like that?
Because I thought about it. I'm going to do feet pics.
Feet pics.
Yeah, you can.
You guys are
You can make $1,000.
No. You can't have them.
It's just feet,
You
but
can't.
I'll take your
Do not subscribe to her OnlyFans.
Yeah,
I
you can,
have $200,000 in student debt that I need to pay off. So I'll make an OnlyFans, okay?
I mean, if you gave us a preview,
Dave's face. Dave's like, yeah, you could do that. Yeah, that would be too. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's wonderful. That's a good plan.
we need a little preview now to see how much we'd pay.
Okay, no, we can't do this. We can't do this. This is my stepdaughter, Jamie.
I need to pay him off somehow.
What the hell are you doing, Joe?
Yeah, 50 cents.
Oh, Dave, this is the new low of your stream, isn't it?
oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, you're looking at about 50 cents per sub there, I think.
That's great. Then if I got 1 million subs, I'd have $500,000.
What? By the way, so I've heard for good feet pictures you can make $1,500 a month on OnlyFans. Just
Where
for
the
your
fuck have
feet.
you heard that, Dave? Bakery?
No, it's just it's just things I hear.
Where? Down by the
I'm
pub?
not
You heard
revealing
some
my
guys-
sources, but
Where the
yeah.
fuck have you heard this?
It's just Dave's research for.
Yeah, extensive research.
Some old lady outside a church was just like throwing around some numbers.
Nobody has to know it's me if it's my feet.
Exactly.
Indistinguishable.
Exactly.
That's
Dave.
a good point.
Do not advocate for this. My stepdaughter was $200,000 in debt from college, and she needs to make some money fast.
Well, there you go. And then
Yeah,
and then
exactly. What's
and
wrong
then can even start paying your rent.
Exactly.
What do we need then?
What do we need?
In a minute, Dom comes back on the camera too. He'll hear about this and
Did
pop back
somebody
up.
say OnlyFans?
Yeah. Hey, Steph, would you be mad if Rachel and I did an OnlyFans? Not together, but
Jesus Christ. I was just about to ask, why don't you get Steph in the stream too?
No, Steph's not doing any OnlyFans. That's not what we're doing. Just Rachel here. Okay? Not my actual wife, just my fake stepdaughter. No offense.
Not my actual wife, my stepdaughter. What?
You know what I mean. Rachel needs to make $200,000 real fast, Steph.
I'll just do drugs. I mean, sell drugs.
Just do drugs. That's not gonna help.
The first option's quite not a bad idea sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it may be a good idea in the short term, but I don't think it's going to help with your debt in the long term. Well, if you're going to do feet pics, I would like to also participate in the OnlyFans.
How? Are you your manager?
Well, yeah, I'm the one that owns the equipment, so I'm kind of like your.
What kind of equipment?
We need lighting. We need shoes.
No, the Phoenix, they don't want the shoes.
We need shoes to get to where we're going to film it. We're not going to film it all in the house, right? We're going to try to do some real fancy stuff. Out in the grass. Out in the driveway.
Out on the grass.
Next to some pretty flowers.
So I can paint myself.
I can afford
Then
that.
I'll take requests from people as to what colors they want.
That's a thing?
I don't know. Why else would you do feet pics?
I think you've got this pretty much all figured out, to be honest, on our own.
We could do some while you're driving a car. We could do some while you're
This isn't a Dr. Seuss book.
driving a car, while you're walking the dog. While you're making
Joe.
It
Let me get
sounds
this
to
out
me
of my
like all she
system,
needs
man.
is a Canon Pro and she's good to go, you know?
I don't have a good camera. I just got my
I
phone.
got the iPhone 13. That's got a pretty good camera.
So why do you need me?
That's what I'm saying. This is a one-man band. Get out of here.
So
I don't need a manager.
tell her, Dave. She needs my experience.
Yeah.
And Joe, thanks for Joe.
Yeah.
Joseph fucking Plant.
Yes.
Thanks for putting shitty Saudi Arabia on the first
Oh, here we go.
F122 counter.
I'm glad you're happy. You know what you're not gonna get?
I just had to complain, JB. I just had to complain about something about the schedule. You know, first time I seen Joe, able to say something to Joe.
Fair enough. Dave, is there any comments in the chat at all?
I don't think so.
Or is everyone just...
Joe, you can start an OnlyFans for free because I've got one, and you can then charge $7.99 a month.
What?
$7.99 a month.
Wait a minute. So for free, I can charge $7.99 a month. They don't make any profit off that.
Yeah, they make profit because they'll probably put ads at the start of your whatever your content is, or in the middle and at the end. That's how they make their profit. But you can have an OnlyFans for free. It doesn't cost a penny. And then you can charge $7.99 for every person that wants to join your OnlyFans.
You know, in a way, I think this is kind of a good thing.
Meaning Joe will never get a penny from this. Because who the hell would want to go on there to see Joe?
Because back in the day,
His
when women
maybe
they were
his
like,
boyfriend Dom.
kind of exploited, right? A little bit. At least OnlyFans
Since they
is kind
play-
of offering business.
Since they play Dream Daddy together.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like it's better than doing porn. Are you signing up?
No.
Oh,
Rachel was like, where's my phone? Get me signed up.
where's my $7.99? Well,
Imagine if you had a million subscribers at $7.99. That's a lot of cash.
Dave, you are really pushing for this. She went to pharmacist, not to be a porn star.
Yeah, but I say if it's
All right.
feet pictures, no one's going to know, are they?
Exactly.
Dave, you're like the little bad voice on the other side of the shoulder.
I know.
What do you mean if it's just feet pictures? Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know until somebody asks to see a thigh for double the amount, right?
I mean, what kind of thigh are we talking? Like you just need here? Because that's still undistinguishable. Indistinguishable.
Well, yeah, basically you're indistinguishable from the neck down.
So then I'll just do scrub pics. People are into that, right?
I don't know. I'm not
How's
really.
this, guys? If this was my pictures. Good?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know. Hey, remember that time you wore my shorts?
Yeah, they didn't fit.
You could use those. You could wear shorts that are too small for you. You think, Dave? That's probably a sub jump.
Yeah.
All right, we've gotten off topic here. What were you guys actually talking about?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea whatsoever.
Dom ceiling one before he left, and then we went on this fans only crap.
Fans only crap. I
Yeah.
would like to point out I haven't used my OnlyFans account. It's just purely people in my comments kept saying, Dave, go and make an only. So I just went on one day and made it. And it was very, very simple.
Oh,
Just
Dave,
5
can I
minutes.
see yours? What's yours called? Can I look it up?
Blimey, I think it's just
Jesus
my
Christ.
name.
Joe, I don't think.
Why, Joe?
I don't know. OnlyFans.
I think it's just my name. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it.
Dave, I reckon what you should do, right, is Dave's saying that. I don't know if I want. I was going to say you need to just like take a screenshot of now and just stick that as your only picture on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Don's gone.
Don's gone.
Do you have to use your real name to sign up for this?
Blimey, I can't remember. I don't think I did. Hopefully it's still saved on my computer. Oh, it is. I'm still there. Look at that. Let me log in. Hang on.
I feel weird signing up for this. Like it's a bad idea.
Bella, get off me. God, look, I'm being attacked by a dog now. Hello. Hello.
And Jamie, I didn't actually leave. I just had to go in the other room.
Okay.
Out to the kitchen real quick, so I turned my camera off.
Your password must contain at least one number and one upper and lowercase letter. I hate this.
So you do have to make an account to look.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you do, but it's free.
Joe, I've just seen it. It's my YouTube channel, F1 Games PlayStation.
All right, hang on, Dave. I have to verify my email address.
What would Steph think that you're making a fans only account, Joe?
Steph, what do you think that I'm making an OnlyFans account?
Is this to make a profit?
Is this to make a profit? She asks.
Yes.
Yes.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Actually, Joe, I was wrong. It's my name, Dave Hook. That's what I am on OnlyFans.
Oh, I your mind up, Dave.
Yeah, sorry, I was signing in as F1 Games PlayStation, but my name on OnlyFans is Dave Hook. My profile picture is TB the Bear.
What the fuck?
Have you found me?
No,
What?
I'm just looking through this. Oh my god, this is crazy. It's just
I've never been on it. Can I see?
no.
What?
Where? What is yours called, Dave?
That just Dave Hook.
Oh,
What's wrong? Ow! Why does the girl come up?
yeah, that's not Dave.
It's probably, well,
Dee Dee, she wants you. What? Hustling with Ann? Is that what it says? You clicked on Sarah, the one that had the most modest picture.
We're getting off track. We're getting
Anyway,
way
Joe,
off track.
is that
I'm not
Marty or is that your other dog?
What?
Is that Marty or is that your other dog?
I don't know who walked in. I wasn't looking at them.
He was looking at people's tits.
Dog.
Should I wear pink more often?
I don't know. Dave, I searched you. You're not here.
Yeah, I think it's because I haven't posted anything. I've made the account, but I physically have to post something and then it will come up. because you're basically searching just for the name, and I don't think the name just comes up. But I've got it right here in front of me, so it's on there. But as I say,
Yeah.
I'd have to
So
post something.
just screenshot Joe and Rachel now and put them up, and then that'll be your first one.
Yeah, that'll be your first one.
You can put it as stepdaddy daughter. Subscribe for more.
Subscribe.
You know anybody on Hookster? Yes.
Hang on. Stand by. Right, do a good picture, you two. I'm going to screenshot you. You ready? Go on.
No, I'm not getting it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah! Cowards.
Joe had to put the fucking sunglasses back on.
I thought Rachel walked off, and then all of a sudden she just pops up from underneath the camera.
Probably not the best way to. Probably not the best way to do that, Rachel.
That's like,
Yeah. Why don't you have a seat then? All right, because we can't have you just popping up from crevices below me. That's gonna look suspicious.
Ugh.
Well, anyways. So what else is new, Dave?
Not a lot.
Dave, you look so busy right now.
I am, yeah. I'm doing like 14 things at once here at the moment.
And you look very happy while you do it.
he's definitely on the scheming.
So,
something.
Joe, actually, serious questioning about this test race at Canada coming up Monday. Are we going to try it with safety cars on to see how the game reacts to safety car?
No. Safety cars got all kinds of internet problems still, just like it's always had. If anyone has a really low internet connection and they drop out momentarily, there's a safety car for that.
Really?
Yeah, and that would ruin races, especially with the guys being in all different parts of the country and stuff. Guys drop out of races at least once a race. What are you doing, Davey?
Matt in the chat says he'd subscribe to my OnlyFans if he got lots of TB content.
I've heard of DP. I've never heard of TB. You think that's funny? Dave, what are you doing? Steph, is this the baby's last time awake? Yeah. Do you want to go for a car ride? All right, guys. I'm gonna go for a little car ride with the baby, Steph, and you want to go stepdaughter? You want to go stepdaughter? Mm-hmm. Well, wipe that dog hair off your ass before we go out.
Why are you looking at me?
Because kids, right, Dave?
Yeah, we need to talk later, Joe, I think.
You know, that water you're drinking from my fridge is going to be free.
What do you want me to pay you?
We'll talk.
You want me to pay you to be my daddy?
No. Okay, that's it. That's enough. Tone it down. All right, guys. I'm gonna go take a car ride. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
Catch you later.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get off then.
Yeah, me
Bye,
too.
guys.
Me too, everyone. I've been on here for 2 hours and 37 minutes.
Yeah. Make sure your next activities are wholesome, Dave.
They will be. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, good. All right. Good night, guys.
Let us know when the feet pictures get posted. We'll
we'll send you all an invite.
Yeah, send us all an invite. I'll pay $7.99 a month. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, good. It'll be half price for you, Dave.
Oh, that's even better.
Right. I'm gonna get off.
Thanks, Jamie. See you later, mate.
Later, guys.
See you later, Dom. Thanks for joining us in the chat tonight. Thank you.
Laters.
Bye-bye. Well, that was epic. I don't know what we learned there, but not a lot. Except OnlyFans. Subscribe now. Yeah, I've really got an OnlyFans. I say I only set it up as a joke. There's nothing posted on it, but I don't think you can actually view it because, as I say, there's nothing posted. But I am on OnlyFans as Dave Hook. Maybe have a look. You might get lucky. I might be on there, but I haven't posted. I don't think anything's going to come up because I think you have to post something before it actually comes up. It's a bit like YouTube, isn't it? And if you haven't got any videos, then it won't come up, will it? Anyway, thanks everyone for watching tonight. You've been awesome as always. Matty says Hamilton had like 4 podiums in a row, finding his consistency again. That's true. Hungary is a Ferrari track this season, but usually it's a Red Bull track. I agree with you there. And Scott says, remembers last year bowling chaos and a new winner in Ocon? I do remember that, yes. That could be good. Will Dom live stream a scary game in the future? I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will, yes. He has done Dead by Daylight. I've seen that on his channel. Ask if you like pineapple on pizza. If so, terminate the interview. Well, as there's no one here, it's only me. I would say I don't like pineapple on pizza. So there you go. And you'd subscribe to Dave's OnlyFans for TB content. Well, thank you, Matt. You can have as much TB content as you like. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and joining us tonight on Hookster Talks. It's been another mad show lasting 2 hours and 39 minutes. Unbelievable. And I'm going for a lie down now. So thanks everyone. You've been awesome as always, and I'll catch you later for another video.